StarCraft 2 fans around the world. Welcome to the last festival of GSL versus the world. And now, introducing each team who is about to clash in team match. It can't be stronger than this. It is packed with the best players who represent the GSL. GSL All-Star Team. And this is war. Stats. Sue. Innovation. Young. Dark. Hero. SOS. Beyond Korea, we will dominate the whole world. We are the kings of StarCraft. GSL All-Star Team. It can't be more fabulous than this. Multinational allied forces from 8 countries around the world. The World All-Star Team. Cero, Nurcio, Special, Kelajur, Showtime, Scarlet, Isanu. There is no eternal winner. True victory is for those who enjoy the challenge. The World All-Star Team.
Welcome to the GSL versus the World Finals. I'm Pesos, joined with, as usual, Artosis and our special guest, Rotterdam in control. How's it going, guys?
It's going so good, Nick. That was a hell of an introduction. I like the.
I think the non-Koreans. I think the non-Koreans at least beat the Koreans in the player intros so far.
Yeah, they do.
The first victory is on the books.
We are going to have an interview with our 2 team captains, as well as the players on the team before we start our match and see what their thoughts are. Obviously, if the non-Koreans could win this, it would be huge, but it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, Tasteless, but the dream is alive. We have to believe, right? That's our job.
So here's the Korean coach, Nesty.
The legend returns, the creator of all you see before you, the maker of the Nesty Award, a multiple-time champion. This guy has so many records in the books. The oldest champion we've ever had. I mean, it's Nesty, guys.
He became a GSL champion at the age that I'm at now.
Yes.
It's crazy. We are also going to be bringing out Stefano, I would say the most charismatic pro gamer there is, really. This guy is hilarious.
He's an amazing
handsome,
personality.
fantastic gamer as well. He's representing the international StarCraft 2 team. We're going to be interviewing them shortly here and seeing what their thoughts are about this match coming up here, how confident or not confident they are, and that will be translated by Soja. And we'll have that taken away now.
임자덕 감독에게 어떤 존재입니까? GSL의 의미.
What does GSL mean to you?
일단 GSL은 제가 있게 만들어준 대회고 굉장히
Global Star League.
저를 있게 만들어준 곳인 것 같아요.
그렇죠. 전 세계 수많은 선수들이 한국에게 도전장을 내밉니다. 오늘 GSL 출신 선수들 8명이 이렇게 한쪽 날개를 담당하고 있는데 월드와의 대결에서 압승을 예상하실 것 같은데 어떤 생각하세요?
I think we are going to crush the world team. What is your opinion on today's games?
일단 해외 선수들이 제가 선수했을 때나 지금이나 일단 한국 선수들에겐 상대가 안 된다고 생각합니다.
다시 한 번 말씀 부탁드려도 될까요?
제가 선수로 있을 때나 지금이나 해외 선수들은 일단 한국 선수들에게 상대가 안 된다고 생각합니다.
When I was a player and as of now too, I don't think there are enough competition, so I still believe in them.
자 그렇다면 스테파노의 이야기 한번 들어봐야죠. 전 세계 글로벌적으로는 월드팀이 최고다 한든 네스티가 여기서 이야기했어요. 월드의 선수들은 한국보다 못하고 한국을 절대 넘어설 수 없다. 스테파노의 생각은 어떠시죠?
Nesty just talked down on you guys. What do you think, Stefano?
All I can say is maybe we're disappointed about yesterday's results, but we didn't come here across half of the globe to lose again in the team league, and we are not here to make friends.
어제 결과는
that.
졌을지 모르겠지만 지구의 반바퀴를 날아와서 또
can already
지려보진
feel
않았습니다.
the Korean
오늘
team trembling
경기
in
결과를
fear.
또 지켜봐 주십시오.
You saw him up there.
Yeah, you saw them, right? Like 6 of them are smiling.
만약에 스테파노가 네스티를 상대로 오늘 대결을 펼친다면 이게 자신감 있으세요?
What if you were going against Nesty today? Will you be able to win?
It's like, well, my ZVZ was pretty
Absolutely, I
bad.
have no doubt. He might have been like
당연합니다. 의심할 여지도 없이 저는 이길 수 있습니다.
와!
I think that translates to
선수들과
wow.
이야기를 나눠보는 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 아이소노 선수죠.
Sanu, you're up.
한국 선수들에게 무너지고 고개도 못 들고 거의 숨도 쉴 수 없을 정도만큼 일방적으로 무너졌는데 오늘 이 무대 팀 매치에서는 이게 자신감 있으세요?
You weren't able
Park
to
is a champ.
breathe. You were just crushed down by Korean players. What are you going to do tonight?
I already took down 2 GSL champions who won against the Su. I think I'm just better than him. I'm gonna win the game.
저는
Nice.
이미
Oh,
GSL
all right.
챔피언을
Sanu showing some flair right there.
어른 선수도 무너뜨릴 수
I like it.
있습니다.
I like the way you revealed his face after the banner.
고명재에게 졌기 때문에
Look at Sue just stand there smiling like, damn it, this is just my legacy.
어윤 선수 오늘 대결에서 아니 아이소노 선수가 고명재를 잡았기 때문에 어윤수는 오늘 밥이다 이런 이야기 해줬거든요.
How does this happen where
You
Coach
know,
Park
I
gets his
saw
hands
just
up?
talk down to you. He just ignored
that?
you completely.
그때 이겼던 거는 자기 나라였던 중국에서 했던 거고
You won back in China. That was your country.
여기는 한국이기 때문에
Nice.
그리고 저는 그 고병재 선수랑 김대엽 선수보다 낫기 때문에 제가 이길 겁니다.
And this is Korea, and I'm better than him, so I'm probably gonna win tonight.
That was a good response,
자
actually.
이렇게 답을 했습니다. 이어서 다음 선수
I love stats.
스칼렛
Just,
선수 스칼렛 선수는요.
He's so adorable.
I just
Yeah.
love Stats to death, man.
Stats
He's
is
so
probably
awesome.
my favorite these days.
너
This is
추위
so
전에
cute.
Like in real life, he's so fun.
스칼렛이 꺾어낼 수 있겠습니까?
You are playing a ZVZ against Dark, who took down Nerdshio. Are you confident enough to do this?
Well, Dark's been playing StarCraft 2 for a long time, and he's actually never lost to a foreigner in a live match. So I think it's finally time to change that.
Oh, that was sick.
강민호 선수는
Oh, well done.
Scarlett's doing
오랫동안
great.
스타크래프트를
Just
플레이해왔지만
statistically speaking,
이제는
she's
바꿀
right.
때가
Yeah,
He's
되었습니다.
due to
This
lose.
eventually has to happen,
You
right?
can't bet on black forever.
When you toss that apple up, it's got to come
What do you
down.
mean?
Yes.
What do you mean? What
Doc
do you
is
mean
like,
it's
I
time
don't
to
understand.
change?
Lose? Like,
Time to change what?
It's time to beat him.
이제는 이길 때가 된 것 같습니다.
dude.
네. 자, 그렇다면 옆에 쇼타임 선수와 이야기 나눠보겠습니다.
Commentator part.
쇼타임 선수는
I love
he's
Bart.
legend.
김유진
He's so
선수의
good.
맞대결이거든요.
You're going against SOS.
립 선수가 이겼던 김유진 선수인데 오늘 이어서 박살낼 수 있습니까?
You know, Neep crushed SOS. Are you ready to do that again?
Foreigner PvP is the best in the world, as Neep proven many times. So I'm gonna crush him.
닙도 여러 차례 증명했지만 저도 오늘 박살내 보겠습니다.
김유진 선수는 박살낸다는 이야기를 했는데 이어서 그러면
This set of foreigners is
캐나다
Casper
선수
Park's
이야기 한번
dream.
나눠보도록 하죠.
He's been waiting for interviews like this.
Yes, this actually is true.
엄청난
This is
선수고
true.
이 상금적인 부분에서
For SOS.
상금을 지금
He's so used to Mario
북한 선수들이 이
Innovation.
선수를 오늘 이길 수 있어요.
You know, TY is known as a big money boy right now. He's just winning all the tournaments. Are
big money
you
boy.
going to win against him? Are you able to beat him tonight?
I took him down at WESG. I'm gonna take him down again.
WESG에서
Now,
이미 이긴
we can
전적이
definitely
있기
see the
때문에
foreigners
저는
have the
오늘도
trash
이길
talk
수
down as
있습니다.
well.
And now TY is like, and I took down 200,000 at WSG. And what did you take down?
남다릅니다. 이어서 전 세계
He's just lucky he didn't hit Kelliher in the finals, Roddy.
Okay.
It's the Stefano effect, man. These
You
guys know
call
how to smack
yourself
talk
the
now.
best Terran, 신림동 Terran. What do you have to say for tonight?
Beyond has no chance against me since I'm being coached by TY. There's no way I lose.
저는 전태양 선수가 제 코치이기 때문에 저는
like it.
Dissension within the Korean ranks.
잠깐만요. 후안 로페즈. 변현우가
TY's like, oh, don't implicate me here.
약하다는 말씀이세요? 변현우가 전태양보다 약하다고요?
어떤 선수 말씀이시죠?
예, 변현우 선수가 전태양보다 약합니까?
Do you think Byun is weaker than TY?
Of course, it's not even close.
당연하죠. 아주 적수도 안 됩니다.
This is why I like that kid, man. Me and Juan agree on a lot of things.
그러면요.
I feel like
자,
the
이어서
the
항상
World All-Star jackets could double as Jurassic Park
한국
Ranger
선수들이
costumes. They kind of look like that.
Yes, they do. They really do.
경기를 펼치는데 어떤 생각 드세요?
Well, they got
You
a
are
lot of
always
clever
talking
girls to
down
take
on
down
the
Clever
tonight.
girl.
on your Twitter,
The
and
players
you're
have
now
learned how to
here
open
in
doors.
Korea playing against him. How do you feel? What are you gonna do tonight?
Well, I'm glad to be in South Korea with the best players in StarCraft 2. But my friend Serral told me how to win versus Protoss because he's unbeatable on Korean ladder, and I will do just that against us.
Pardon, to say the
Oh
last part
my
again.
God.
My friend Serral told me how to win against Protoss because he's the best against that race, and I will do just that against stats.
제 최고의 친구인 셀랄이 프로토스를 어떻게 플레이하는지 알려줬기 때문에 저는 그대로 플레이를 하도록 하겠습니다.
I wonder if it had anything to do with hydras and beans.
대한민국 선수를
Figured
잡을
maybe out.
뻔했습니다. 마지막 경기에 놓쳤어요. 이번 경기에서는 한국 선수를 무너뜨린 모습, 전 세계 최강의 타련을 받고 평가받고 있는 이노베이션을 잡아낼 수 있어요.
You almost beat a Korean, and now you're going against one of the best Terrans innovations. What are you going to do tonight?
I should have been in the finals because I'm going to destroy innovation.
You're going to what?
Because I'm going to destroy innovation.
Okay. 제가 원래 결승을 갔었어요. 이기도록
I want to
하겠습니다.
point out how funny this is because we have so many different accents in English. Sojung channeling Mr. Castor Park, then going back to
오늘
the players.
대한민국 팀을 상대로 해서
Now what does
힘이
Neeb
있는
have to
월드
say?
팀이
All right.
확실히 이길 거라는 그 확신을 가지고 계세요.
Do you have the ultimate confidence that your team, with you on it, will win tonight?
Well, I'm gonna win my match. I'm gonna completely murder Hero. So
Oh,
we have a
yes.
bunch of other very skilled
This is
players
like a
on our
Far
team, so
Side joke.
for sure we're gonna win.
일단 저를 상대로
like August 26th or something like that, dude.
사살해버릴 거 있기 때문에 그거는 확실하고요. 그리고 저를 제외한 나머지 팀원들도 이길 것이기 때문에 저는 이길 것이라고 확신하고 있습니다.
그렇죠.
Jeff, you're so
월드 선수들은 그 누구도
got tears in my
진다는 생각 안 하고 있다. 그런 이야기를 해줬습니다. 그럼요. 이제 한국 선수들 이야기 한번 들어보겠습니다. SOS 마이크 한번 잡아주시고요.
Do you have confidence in your team?
Well, I'm gonna win my match.
대한민국 선수 지하철에 김윤희 님한테
Is that a no?
오늘
what do they have to
대결에서는
say to
쇼타임
that?
선수 선수인데 절대 안
I
진다는
hope they
이야기했습니다.
smack talk
You know,
real good.
Showtime is saying that he's not gonna lose. What do you have to say about it?
인터뷰가 너무 비장해서 살짝 좀 긴장되긴 하는데
SOS
그래도
is
여기는
adorable too.
한국이니까 GSL의 쇼타임을 보여드리겠습니다.
I'm kind of getting nervous from his interviews, but this is Korea, so I will show you the showtime of GSL.
Oh wow! He took his name and used it
in a pun in Korean
Oh
with
my.
an English name.
Oh my God!
The new meta. 지난 경기 김유진도 닙한테 졌어요. 그럼 연거푸
crowd is
김준호
just
선수마저
enraptured.
무너지게 되면 대한민국 최고의 프로토스들이 닙 앞에 무릎을 꿇고 마는 거거든요. 오늘 경기 어떻게 준비하셨어요?
일단 님 말고도 외국 선수들이 말하시는 거 보면 한국인의 그 매운맛을 좀 잊은 것 같은데 오늘 좀 매운맛을 이제 상기시켜 줄 때가 되지 않았나 싶습니다.
I think all the other foreigners, including Neeb, they have forgotten the spiciness of Korean players, so I will show them the best of Korean players tonight.
Hero, stats beat you so hard. It's kind of weird to see you here. How do you feel?
소문이 글로벌까지 났어요. 저저전에서 약하다고.
It's global that you're really bad at ZVZ. What are you gonna do about it?
오늘 스칼렛 선수거든요.
So
스칼렛 선수에게 어떤 모습 보여주겠습니까?
뭐 다들 뭐 사살하겠다, 뭐 박살내겠다, 다들 무서운 소리들 하시는데 그래도 먼 나라에서 오셨는데 한 판도 못 이기고 가는 건 좀 불쌍하잖아요.
I'd let
저는
Dark date
좀
my daughter.
이제 해외 선수들과 좀 즐기는 날에 한번 만들어 보겠습니다.
Even though ZVZ.
You guys came from really far countries. You're saying murdering, beating people, but I'll try to show you guys enjoying matches tonight. Thank you.
와. 후안 선수 이런 이야기를 했어요. 변현우는 전태양보다 미치다. 그리고 후안 로페즈 스페셜이
Why are you guys so mean today?
그 얘기도 어떤 생각하셨어요?
We used to be friendly on the
Juan
ladder.
said that you're below TY.
일단 정신 나간 소리 같고
I think that's just out of your mind, man.
제 위에
Keep it above the belt, Beyond. Keep it above the belt.
한 명뿐이라고
There's only
생각합니다.
one Terran who could be above me.
Innovation?
누구죠? Who's that? Innovation?
네.
Innovation. Only innovation.
자 그리고 이어서
That's it.
전태양 선수 이야기 들어보도록
Okay, so
하겠습니다. 전태양
definitely-
선수
So basically like-
pretty much gone undefeated in the trash.
Well, now that we know that TY and Beyond hate each other, at least we have a new storyline for GSL.
오늘 전태양 선수 상대로 해서 승리하는
That was really
모습
funny because
보여주겠다고
he basically just
이야기했거든요.
thrashed out TY
Kelliger
there.
said that he should be in the finals. What do you say?
예전에 진 기억이 켈라주르 선수한테 진 기억이 있는데 그때 복수를 오늘
not sure who
하겠습니다.
Kelliger is, but
I've lost
I'll
against
probably beat
Kelliger
him.
once. I will make my revenge tonight.
네 알겠습니다. 오늘 멋진 모습
Come
기대하겠습니다.
on.
자 이어서
Could have made a prize money
다음
joke. Come
선수죠.
on, mate.
마이크 넘겨주신
esportsearnings.com. Come on, get on Todd's level.
게임을 증명해내기 위해서 이 자리에 섰습니다. 개인적으로 솔직히 생각했을 때 해외 선수들의 실력은 어느 정도라고 생각하세요?
He's only just beginning.
Personally, to prove yourself.
This will be good,
just
by the way.
Speaking personally.
one. You're right.
What do you think?
잘할 땐 잘하는데 못할 때는 또 못하고
I wanted to
좀
actually drop the mic.
아쉬운 느낌이 많이 있더라고요.
Easy one.
I think when they're really good, they're good, but when they're bad, they're not playing that well.
그럼
That makes sense.
경기에서
And then
만나봤던
innovation,
선수들은 전부
wrapping
다
up the
쉬웠어요.
interviews.
EGSL.
In a way only he could.
I believe he just assessed their skill.
아직까지는 막 그렇게
Said, well, when they play well, they're good, but when they don't play as well, they're not as good.
해외 선수한테.
I'm like, wow, that is a
For
great
now, for
statement right
foreign
there.
players, I don't think I really lost against them.
네. 오늘도 완벽한 모습 기대하겠습니다.
He's like, no, no,
I
seriously.
don't remember losing against foreigners. I'm like,
오늘
oh, snap.
He's like, please no laughter. I'm being quite literal.
몇 예상하세요?
What do you predict the scores to
I've
be
crunched the
tonight?
numbers.
오늘 한 7대1.
Look how one-handed
7
the
to
other.
1. Who do you?
Who's the one?
Who's
gonna
Got
lose?
tasteless risk on.
누가 질 것 같아요?
I think she
한국
just
팀
asked
중에
that.
Young.
SOS라고 있는데.
What have I gotten myself into?
I predict SOS to lose.
Oh my
Thinks
god.
SOS will lose.
나왔습니다.
Look at SOS.
나머지 선수 다 이길 거라는 예측을
SOS is sitting there looking at here. He's like, wait, did you win any games in the last week?
자 이어서 김대엽 선수
That's awesome.
GSL 우승자가요.
They're smack talking to each other is better than the others.
Yeah, they're actually turning on each other right now.
그리고 오늘
It's
이사회생에서 올라왔는데
Best get your team
이
in line.
무대에서 해외 선수들에게 각오한 말씀 해주신다면요?
He's like, I don't know how to be mean.
뭐
Too nice.
비록 제가 질 뻔은 했지만은 그래도 지금 여기 나와 있는 한국 선수들 다 해외 선수들을 이렇게 생각을 하고 있을 거예요.
외국 선수들 먹는 건가? 그게 뭐지? 그렇게 생각을 하고 있기 때문에 네, 압도적인 경기력으로 8대0 스코어 만들어 보겠습니다. 네.
Although I almost lost, you know, most of the Korean players are going to think, what are these foreign players? They're going to be thinking that it's really easy. So tonight I will show a score of 8-0 and I will absolutely crush them. Thank you.
Well, he's not playing every game, so I'm not sure that he can guarantee
The format got a little bit complicated.
최고의 매치죠. 전 세계 최강의
He's like, I'll just all kill.
선수들이
No. That's not what's going on stats.
과연 GSL 팀이 이길지, 와일드 팀이 이길지.
He's like $8,000. Not bad, guys. That's not what it's gonna be.
Everyone's like crawling over each other to play first.
All right, guys, we'll be going to this match shortly. Stay tuned.
Gotta get those selfies in, boys.
We are back here at the GSL versus the world. We'll be starting this show match shortly here. Each one Korean versus one non-Korean in a best of one. We're going to tally the scores at the end and see who comes out on top. We will have a tiebreaker match if it is 4-4. I am so rooting for the non-Koreans, but I'm hoping we actually can manage to come through here and come out on top. I want the Koreans to go down. I've been living here for 7 years. My entire life has been building up to this point, guys. Can we do it?
Well, we sent you ahead of this show match because we knew that you could sow insurrection. You could build kind of like a subterfuge interior attack to happen. Did you weaken the Koreans enough, Tasus? Have you tainted them?
We'll find out. As you can see, our match lineup looking pretty good.
Yeah, I take a look at these matches. I think that the Foreigners absolutely can win like 5 of them.
Wow.
And it's all best of one. Yeah, wow. four to 5 of these. I look at it, I'm like, this is a decent match for the Foreigners, absolutely. And if we get to that ace match, dude, I'm telling you, you throw special out there, and we got a 45% chance to win that.
Kevin, you can't be as biased as Artosis. Take us back to reality.
Well, I was going to be very, very optimistic and say I hope that we go to a tiebreaker. I can see it ending 4-4, but that's very optimistic.
I got your guys back.
I
too am optimistic. I think 7-1 Koreans.
No.
Yeah, well,
come on, Jeff.
SOS. SOS
They
dropping
got,
this one.
listen, yeah, well, for sure. I mean, even the Koreans are like, SOS, you can't win a game, bro.
What's going on back there? They're turning their backs on each other, the Koreans.
Well,
they're getting insulted by the non-Koreans, and they're like, this is weird, and they just start to attack each other instead.
This is all part of Special's plan. He plants the seed, right? Like, TY is helping me out. Beyond, you can't beat me now. And all the Koreans start looking at each other. Who can we trust?
So which matches do you think are for sure victories for the World All-Stars?
I'm not saying for sure, but I'm saying Nurchio can kill Stats, Showtime can kill SOS, Neeb will kill Hero, Special will kill Beyond.
What? Really?
You think
okay, and I think Scarlet Dark is a good match, and there you go, and there I am. Those are my matches I look at, and I think, and yes, I really think that Neeb will kill Hero, and I really think Special will kill Beyond.
Wow. Special's been in
and then the other ones, I'm like, this is very doable. Like, I'm not saying like necessarily super favored, but like absolutely can happen.
Kellers or TY is going to monster.
TY is going to monster mash him. Yeah. Totally agree with that.
Kellers did win though in the group stage.
Huh?
Kellers did win in the group stage of WESG.
Yeah, that's true.
But TY won the entire.
Yeah, he won the entire event over Maru in the finals. So I'm going to go with TY on that one, unfortunately.
Couple of great games though. I'm very, very excited. I especially think 3 out of the first 4. If the World ALLstars want to have a very good showing here, I feel like 3 out of the first 4 have to be victories. Because you've got like the ALLSTAR, you've got Showtime, you've got Neeb. And then the first one, I don't think that Nurcho is the favorite here, but I believe he's got a pretty okay shot against Stats.
Yeah, he does. He's very good at ZVP. And don't forget, this is best of 1. There is some volatility within there. Okay, and every one of these world players can take a game off someone. Ayasano, he beat 2 GSL champions. He could just straight up win his match. Who knows?
Not SOS though.
No, apparently not.
SOS is done.
But look,
I'm not even sure why he's here.
I think you're totally right, though. The fact of the matter is that in a best of 1, you can pull off anything. I mean, we might have some super short games. Maybe some of the non-Koreans end up cheesing out. Do whatever it takes to win.
Well, that does favor him. The best of 5 so far. It's been really refreshing how close a lot of these non-Koreans have come. We've had some amazing series. Hopefully you guys have been watching that. But in a best of 1, yeah, some crazy stuff can happen, for sure.
Maybe even Ayasono. I mean, Ayasono is obviously a wild card and nobody counts on him to win this game, but it's a best of 1 ZBZ against Su.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not the most impossible thing in the world.
No, there's things far more impossible.
Yeah. Like SOS winning his match.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the main one that comes to mind. That,
SOS is
that
so
2-time world champion, and that was in the finals of a GSL last year. Yeah.
SOS is going to be so mad. He's going to play the best game of his life, and he's going to completely destroy Showtime. This is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. So we're going to start things off with Stats versus Nurchio. Nurchi, one of the, I'd say, more confident non-Koreans out there, really does believe in himself and believes that he can overcome any opponent. Stats is going to be tough, though. He's got that very defensive style. Certainly likes to kind of keep retracting back and teching up and powering up until he can eventually overcome them. But Nurchio also is able to do that. He likes going down the long road in the ZVP.
And I mean, just last week at the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai, Stats did lose a series against Ayasono, which made him eliminated from the tournament in the group stage. And he was even up 1-0 in a very, very close, hard-fought game. At that point, I was like, well, now at this point, it has to be 2-0 Stats for sure. No, Ayasono turned it around, still eliminated Stats of that tournament. If Ayasono can do it, I don't see any reason why Nurchio wouldn't be able to win a best of 1 here.
Absolutely, I completely do agree with that. Stats, like, he's very good, but he's kind of like a defensive player, wants to play the long game. That's something Nurchio's pretty good at. Like, if you're playing just kind of a standard Protoss game, a standard long kind of defensive game, Nurchio's going to do fine against that. This kid can macro.
The kind of scuttlebutt in the European scene, though, is that Nurchio has been struggling ZVP. He's in the meta right now. I think he's a better player than what he's playing to in this matchup. It's been a lot of Hydra Ling, Baneling, but that's like not where he found himself. He's always kind of a little bit different than ZVP meta. So that's interesting going into this. It is a best of 1. It still can be. Maybe he plays inspired. That kind of stuff can happen. We saw Stats get kind of a bit of a run of like, this is what he's going to do, and if Nurchio can figure that out in a quick time, he can capitalize.
Guys, final predictions before we start game number 1.
My heart says Nurchio, my mind says Stats.
And the overall score?
Oh, overall?
It's a 12,000 points, maybe.
Oh, out of all the games?
Yeah.
5-4.
5-4.
4?
I think maybe it's special versus innovation that 5th match. I don't know. That's a hard one.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, Artosis and I are going to peace out. This is going to be casted by Rod Eating Control. Have fun, boys.
Thank you, Tasteless, kicking off this amazing show match, this beautiful stage. Thank you guys for joining us. This is going to be really, really incredible. In this best of 1 in the lower left-hand side, from Korea, it's the Blue Protoss.
Pretty close there, Jeff.
I got there.
Not bad at all.
Had to rush.
On the right top side of Mac Depot, we're looking at the main base of our Polish Zerg. It is. Damn it, Mark, it's so long.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's a pregnant pause.
Euronics Gaming, Nurchio.
There you go.
Gotta get used to this one, Jeff.
All right. It's a great venue. It's really, really cool. I thought the production was awesome. You know, we laugh, we have a good time, but a lot of these players showing some personality and having fun. I think celebrating StarCraft is a really cool thing that sometimes we kind of forget about it. It is, at the end of the day, a game. It's done a lot to transport a lot of our lives and put us in really cool places, but these are young people playing the game they love in front of an awesome audience. I think it's really cool.
Couldn't agree more. Beautiful stage, beautiful setup, ambience. Everybody seems to be in a good mood as well. And I'm excited. You know, Jeff, I also feel that this tournament just flew by. Like, this is day 4 already. We're going to have the grand finals of the other tournament that we casted over the last 3 days. It's like, I feel like I just arrived in Korea and it's almost over already. Kind of sad. Let's just go ahead and enjoy these games, and let's see if the World All-Stars, you know, we actually have instructions, Jeff, to be a little biased. We gotta be those guys that represent the world.
They don't even have to. They don't have to. You know, I've been the negative Nancy. Watching these matches has been humbling because the non-Koreans are finally up there. They're taking leads in series. They're playing really well. But even wrapping up a best of 5 is actually very difficult. Just getting there to that finish line. So in these best of 1s. It's a bit of a reset. This is playing a little bit to the non-Koreans' hands where, like, okay, you don't need to do some mega crafty series. You don't have to bust up your builds and show 3 or 4 different builds. You just got to win one game, and that's, you know, Nurchio versus Stats in a best of 5. I'd take Stats every day, but in a best of 1, Nurchio can do it. He's really crafty with those links.
And one final prediction from you for the entire 8 games.
I honestly believe the non-Koreans win like 2 or 3 at the most.
Okay, so 6-2?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I would probably maybe go for 5-3, but I kind of believe in maybe a 4-4. I'd love to see a tiebreaker.
That'd be the most fun, obviously.
Yeah, and I actually think it is doable, but obviously we could all look stupid and it could just be a 6-2 or even a 7-1. Or worst case scenario, it's an 8-0.
Straight 8-0.
And then we just all, we hang our heads in shame. If that's the case, Jeff, no Korean barbecue for me tonight. I'm just going to go home.
Just go home and cry softly.
Yes.
You know, to be honest, I love what we kind of came to the realization of yesterday. We're like, hang on. Who are the 4 best players in the game right now? That was probably our top 4.
Yeah, it's insane.
Of the races.
We've got a great final, of course, later today as well. A best of 7 between TY and Innovation. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. For now, let's focus on Stats versus Nurture. Now, I casted Stats at the Intox 3 Masters, and he didn't look unbeatable. He struggled a little bit, especially against Swarmos.
Even here?
Yeah, now I don't think that Nurture is a Swarmos player. I honestly don't see him make any Swarmos in this matchup. But Stats didn't look invincible. He's opening up with the Oracle here, which is a very, very standard opening. Obviously, I'm sure that Nurture won't be surprised by it. I'm just curious to see how it will play out on this map that is obviously relatively new as well, Magdeco. Haven't seen that many games on it yet.
Yeah, you still have a very doable third. It's not like this is a Protoss graveyard of a map. But there is a reason why the non-Korean team put out Nurchio. This is a pretty good map for that. You do have to go down a ramp and up another to get to that third base. Anytime that happens on a medium to small size map like this, that can be a little bit spotty. Some Roach Ling, some Roach Ravager, that kind of timing attacks can be very strong. Like I've been saying, Nurchio is a Hydra Ling guy, but what I like about Nurchio's play is his early game can be very crafty.
This is a little bit ugly though, Jeff. If 2 drones fall immediately morphed into his 4, that's exactly what Nurchio does, but he does end up losing at least 1 drone, and maybe the second one is going to go down here as well. He's going to have to cancel it, I think. Yes, he does. He does end up losing the drone as well. Yeah. This is actually a pretty good Oracle for Stats. It's better than most of the Oracles these days.
But also it's within acceptable parameters, I think, for Nurchio. It's not, losing 2 drones is not like, oh my god, how does he come back from this? It's like, eh.
And Nurchio made quite a few links early on. Stats is actually kind of taking his time going up to 3 bases. This is not late or something, 4:47. I'm not saying like, oh my god, it's incredibly late, but it's a little bit later than some of the other expands we've seen lately. A Stasis Ward being warped in, but Nurchio has good reaction time here, and he's only going to freeze 1 drone.
Really good response there. It's absolutely not what he's looking for. He's looking for his attention to be divided. He can grab a whole mineral line. It can be really good there. But Phoenix comes out. You'll see there's no continuation of Phoenix behind this, so it's not really the Golden Armada or Stargate play. It's just more of the double Oracle.
It's like the Polt Viking of Protoss.
Yeah. I think it's a fair way of calling it. He's going to go for it again. Whoa!
Oh,
whoa.
This one is going to be a little bit bigger as the Queen gets trapped as well. Wow, 4 more drones over here. Stats is having a ball so far here in game number 1. This is actually all going very, very well for him. You know, Nurchio, I love a lot of the things he does, Jeff, but if I want to be critical of one thing in Nurchio's play, is that in general, his creep spread is not fantastic. I feel like this is something that's been holding him back in a couple of the ZVPs, especially if you rely on Hydras and Banelings. Like, on and off creep is just a world of difference. It changes everything.
And I absolutely agree, and that's weird, because I don't feel like that's always been the case. I mean, Scarlet's known for her creep spread, so it's not like he was ever on Scarlet level, but it wasn't like a big issue. Maybe the game's just kind of evolved past or something, but I definitely agree. You see a War Prism coming out, charge, +1 attack, and a Templar Twilight for a Protoss player here, so it's gonna be dicey, because if he doesn't see that with all the damage from this Phoenix, can be some warp into the main, can be some problems.
Yeah, it could also just be like even 2 Archons, even though this is later than the regular 2 Archon, obviously, as these Oracles just keep on going. Nurcho ends up losing like 7, 8, 9 drones again. Not forever, but at least for quite some time. And Stats is playing fantastic so far. Even though Nurcho does have 75 drones, what I'm worried about, Jeff, is that 4th base. If like 4 Zealots be warped in, or 4 Zealots in the prison, and he warped in 4 additional Zealots, if Protoss gets a cancel or a kill on that 4th hatchery, this becomes a very, very unpleasant game to play as a Zerg player.
Agreed. And just now Baneling speed does get started here, so we're going to get that Warp Prism loaded up. It is going to go past the tower though, so it will be spotted. And you know, Nurcho, a couple of stasis wards go off. It's not great, but it's not devastating. He's still okay.
Damn, his drone count is going to be so high, Jeff. 82 drones.
I like it.
Yeah, this is like indeed a little bit like Serral style. In the past, we've seen a lot of these Zerg, you know, be at 68, maybe 70 drones, and then they start trading, then they start making. Nurcho instead taking a note out of Serral's playbook. He said Serral has been teaching him a couple of things. Well, this is definitely a Serral type of drone count, and from this point on, you just want to fight all the time. But Mech Depot is a pretty long map, though. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out, but we'll see.
Good surround here. Should be able to, yep, they're just going to have to actually cancel their shade and get picked up here. Another scout coming out. And so far, Nurchio's, he's to that power number, though, that Kevin was talking about. Once you hit 80 drones, you don't go beyond that. The kind of, if you can get away with that without taking any damage, it's just time to hit the build button. You're just going to start making Hydraling and Baneling.
Well, look at where Seth takes his 4th base. He doesn't take it on the left top side. He doesn't even take it next to his main. He takes it near the middle, which means that if Nurcho starts working on all these rocks that are in the middle of the map, then with a couple of creep tumors, he doesn't need to have the entire map covered in creep. All he needs is a little highway, and that's what he's going for.
Well, you're a nice guy. I'm not going to let Nurchio off the hook too much, though. It's like literally 2 creep tumors that are active. And yes, he's going to have a nice push towards that base, but like his main's not even connected to his natural. His 4th base, I think there's even a little bit of separation between that. Just a little bit. It's, you know, we're nitpicking, but this is the World All-Stars. We need to see better.
Well, I think Nurcho is just really going to hammer down the middle of the map. He's just going to shove Hydra Bane in the face of Stats over and over again. And obviously the first hold is going to be incredibly important. Now, what is great news for Stats is that both Oracles are still alive. We saw Showtime have a couple of phenomenal holds throughout the weekend. Stasis wards, overcharge, a cannon or 2, maybe a few force fields as there are sentries in the mix as well. Are you going to break this, Jeff, with just Hydra Bane?
No, look at all the Templar behind that. Yeah. He's going to come into this narrowed space. He's going to fight through photon overcharges, and he's not going to have much to kite behind. It looks like Stats is going to give a little bit of space there. Guardianship goes up. There's the first storm. It gets a huge chunk of Hydras. He just sits underneath it. There's the next storm, thinning out the Banelings, and then he's already fallen back behind here. A couple of storms. Those are a little bit of blanks, but then what? Nurchio kind of walks into it. The army of Stats is not amazing. This positioning is really hard to get through.
Yeah, and don't forget, he has plenty of gateways, obviously. You can start warping in 7, 8, 9, 10 Zealots.
Maybe the continuation of Kevin?
Yeah, the high drone count is obviously going to help. Maybe 1 Oracle there for free. Nurcho does get the Oracle on the top side.
Get the
That's a little bit sloppy by Stats, because Stats, Baneling gets awfully close to the High Templars. I don't understand why Stats didn't drop any stasis wards here.
Yeah, a little bit of a misuse there. And this army is mostly Templars. Got to be careful. They're going to start making Archons, but this is a combat zone. And here come the Hydras in the back there. Just the 1 Immortal is a little bit perilous for Stats. If he can get through this okay, he's going to win the game.
Yeah, exactly, because from this point on, the army is going to be strong and strong. Now, he did use all of his High Templars, so he needs to warp in new ones. It's going to take a little while before he has 5, 6, 7 storms again.
And you're right, Rotterdam. Nurchio's just putting the gas to the pedal here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that maybe the next wave, but these Archons with a Guardian Shield as well. I feel like Stats should just chill, because Nurcho is going to eventually run out of steam. And Stats just needs to get up to like 5, 6, 7 storms.
Oh no, when I was saying surround, I thought the Zerg might have been able to get surround there, but it looks like he's just going to keep massing up. Supply-wise, though, they're fairly similar, and that's really bad for Nurchio.
Yep, especially because Storm is out. And
he went into that first fight with like a 20-30 supply advantage, and it didn't pan out.
And suddenly, it's not just a couple of High Templars, it's 5 Immortals and 5 Archons as well. Once again, the creep just hasn't really been making any moves forward. A couple of Hydras on the high ground here, that's nice. Maybe a few probes will get kicked off.
It's okay.
But this army of Stats is just getting bigger and bigger. He has +3 attack. Oh, okay. I do like this, Jeff. Try something a little different, because going towards the middle, running into storms is obviously not going to get the job done. So Nurcho is going to try to do something that we all love from him, and that is Hydra drop.
And he's going to have to do something, like you said, Rotterdam, something different. He's actually going to scout out this base by doing that. I think he's, you know what, go past it. You can't even drop on this. Go in the main and have something else go over there to deal with that.
A couple Stalkers is obviously not going to be enough. Maybe 1 Overlord does get picked up. No, it's not. So what is Stats going to do now? He's going to have to send all of his units back, and don't forget, Nurture is obviously going to try to strike somewhere else again.
Yeah, both armies are just about max, so Warpins are limited here, but the double Immortals show up. And there, the Enforcers, a bit of a misclick here coming out from Nurture as well. And he is just kind of falling apart. The attack in the main, not what it should have been. Even losing the Overlord full of units. Falling back on this, there's that creep issue we were talking about. A lot of the engagements are happening off creep, so he's not even able to escape for free. He's losing units when he does that.
This is a very large map once again, so I don't expect Nurture to have the entire map covered in creep. But I'd love to at least see him move the 2 more forward.
Yeah. I mean, we're fair to be critical. I don't feel bad about that. Like, it definitely could be better than this, and it's going to be a problem. He's going to show up here, going behind this third. He's going to bow out of there, but this is what I'm kind of talking about. Every time he does any kind of poke, it's costing him.
Damn, Sats doing a phenomenal job in playing up his army. Are there Banelings in those Overlords? That's what I wonder about. Banelings will roll into the 4th base, but Sats has evacuated most of his probes already. Sats is just playing rock solid, man. It's like, I feel like he's playing racquetball, and every ball that comes in his way, he just smashes it right back.
Yep. He's looking like Serena Williams out in the tennis court, just beasting through these serves. Everything Nurture is trying to do is get in return with fire. And he's going to push here, but what is his game plan? If you look at that production tab, he's just now getting... Is that +1 range attack? That's it?
Yeah, you're right.
Way behind
he does have
upgrades.
+2 melee for the main
Yeah,
as well, but yeah, the Hydras, they didn't have any upgrades. Stats is feeling so confident that he's getting a mothership. The fleet beacon has obviously finished up. He's also getting +1 air weapon, so maybe he's going to squeeze in a couple of carriers. Nurture is still dancing around. The problem is with this style of Nurture, you want to do serious damage to the Protoss. You really want to start hurting him, where you get like 50 probes here, 20 probes there, maybe a couple of High Templars, and that's just not happening.
Well, the nice thing for Nurture is because of all this aggression, he's like one good fight away. You know, if the Protoss somehow loses his army, it's really lethal for him. Double Archon's going to go down there. This attack getting some purchase on the mineral line, but he can't lose too many units. He's going to back away. And Kevin, that screen, I mean, this is a nice fight, but the army of the Protoss is terrifying.
Yeah, but if Sats never attacks because he makes 3 more Stargates, maybe Nurture can invent some sort of a window. These Hydras might actually get this Nexus. And Mortals are going to try to save the day, but they do get it. So that's something at least for Nurture. I feel this was the first pretty damn good fight of the game. The problem is that Stats is incredibly rich and has a very powerful army and is getting up to carriers.
Thank you, Kevin. This was a great fight. Problem is everything else.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he's in a lot of trouble. And even
just
the
being honest, Jeff.
well, no, I know. That's what we're here to do. Nurture's going to fall back. It's just more Ling, Hydra, Baneling. He's getting that +1 attack, so that'll be kind of nice. If there is something worth mentioning, it's the attack of Protoss that's been upgraded, not the armor.
Baneling's going to try to get close to the High Templars on the left side, but Stats so good in repositioning those High Templars. A couple of Archons there, maybe a little bit too exposed, but more storms rain down, and I think Nurture's in a lot of trouble.
He is. He's kind of getting tanked up by those Archons. The storms are now in position to push him back. Supply advantage now Stats. For one of the first times in the game, they've been about even, but now it's worse. He's on top of these bases. We're getting some Zealot harass there, but it's going to flat out lose the 5th base here. He evacuates, so that's kind of nice. But going back to 4 bases after 15 minutes of all-out aggression means that he's starting to dry up in the main and natural as well.
Absolutely. Stats having a ball. You know, I don't mind the game plan of Nurture, obviously, but I think early game it wasn't good enough because he lost too much mining time against all the Oracles.
Yeah.
And what I would have also loved to see with the playstyle that he was going for, a couple drop lords of Banelings, you know, like keep Stats honest, force him to have a couple Stalkers, force him to warp in cannons into the natural or into the main. We didn't see any Baneling drops on the mineral lines, and I really think that could have maybe made things go a little bit better for Nurture.
I think where he was attacking was tough. He was going through a fairly choked space into pylons and cannons. That's a good place for a Protoss to defend. We didn't even see force fields, but that could have been an issue as well, where
he dropped a couple,
locks them in and storms it, and then they're all dead. But he didn't need it. He defended just fine otherwise.
So Stats looking very dominant here in game number 1.
He's up 40 or 50 army supply here.
He's getting everything. He's styling right now.
He's styling a little bit. This is Nick Tasteless plot in the club, late Friday afternoon. Single ladies thought they were safe. They're finding out it's wrong. Plot's on the case.
One glimpse at that beard, and that's all it took. That's all it took, Jeff. That's all it took. A few more Hydras coming in from the north side. I mean, Nurture has done a decent job in killing a couple probes here and there over the last 2 minutes. But this army,
he's got to push now. He's like, you know what? If that's your army harassing me right now, I think it's over. I'm just gonna put this out there, by the way. Dark Shrine. Still a good idea here, by the way.
Why not? If you have
All this
basic.
harass, you warp in 2 Dark Templar, you can tell back.
It has been a fun game. It's been a very bloody game with a lot of cool battles. It just really felt that Stats had a very smooth opening with his oracles, with a lot of lost mining time from Nurcho. And the moment that the very first Hydra Bane push comes at the fort base, and the cannons are already there, Storm is already done, that's just where things become pretty damn rough for the Zerg.
It's been a fun game in that it's been action-packed, Kevin, but for me it's like very tail end of meta-esque. Like the Protoss just sat there with the exact army that counters what the Zerg is doing, and it's not because of some crazy mind game back and forth, it's because both of these people are at the tail end of the meta. This is actually what you do almost every time in this matchup. So for me, it becomes more exciting when people start changing it up.
Yeah, it comes down to execution when you have these kind of builds go up against each other as well. And it's safe to say that Stats' execution was quite a bit better than Nurcho's. As he's maxed out, Nurcho's still trying to counterattack, but I think Nurcho also knows that this is the beginning of the end, as he is getting a couple of Infestors, but I don't think Neuro is done. Well, Infested Terrans, are not going to cut it.
GG. And Stats deflects Nurcho. Nurcho basically attacks himself to death and takes the first game for the GSL side of this team match. It's going to make those World All-Stars have to rethink, retool. I mean, it is a set draw, so I guess there's not a lot they can do. But hopefully Coach Stefano kind of comes over and says, I have a few ideas. Mixes it up.
Look at Stats, he's always so happy, so adorable.
He is actually
How do you
so
not
adorable.
love that guy? Like, Stats is just amazing. Well done there by the GSL All-Stars, and obviously in particular by Stats. But I think this was one of these matches where, you know, the World All-Stars were not necessarily counting on winning it. They say maybe on a good day there is a chance, but I don't think this was one of these must-win games.
No, but it was one of the doable ones,
yes,
I think.
That I do agree with. But the second one, Jeff, that becomes a little more must-win in my opinion. We've got Showtime versus SOS. Even Sue thought that SOS was going to lose that one. Poor SOS is standing there. It's like, guys, we're on the same team here. Like, what's going on?
That is so funny.
I do believe in Showtime in this one, though. But Showtime also told me that, you know, PvP is not his favorite matchup at the moment. He's like, I don't suck at it. I don't hate it. He's like, but I also don't think I've got it completely figured out with the recent meta shifts that often include like low gas builds and lots of zealots.
Well, I even think back to, I believe it was you that asked Showtime about Need's chances in his PvP.
Yeah.
And he was saying something about how they've been practicing here, they've been hitting these guys on the ladder. And he talked about how SOS keeps doing really weird timings in PvP.
Yep.
It spoke to me, you know, obviously we're not going to read too far into this, but it spoke to me of a lack of confidence that kind of gave me the idea of SOS is that wild card. He is hard to prepare for. And you can feel good about him because he's not like innovation, just a mechanic god. But you can feel weird because in a best of one, advantage SOS in terms of what build comes out.
Yeah, definitely. And as in like a best of 5, I would really favor Showtime here. But in a best of 1, I think it's actually very, very hard to predict. You're spot on. You know that this man can proxy wherever, whenever, and whenever he feels like it.
Yep.
And obviously Showtime is going to be a little bit paranoid because he knows that this is not a standard Protoss that he goes up against.
He's like one of the guys who, if it was like best of 1 against literally every StarCraft player ever, SOS would have some ridiculous record. He's like, yeah, I'll just do a different build in all 7,000 of the games or whatever.
He's like, can we just have best of 1 tournaments, grand final, best of 1.
With a $100,000 prize pool,
yeah,
win it every time.
He's like, I promise guys, I'll make it a fun game. It's like 2 gateways go up in the main. It's like, nobody does this in Legacy SOS. It's like, what I do. Look at Coach Nesty.
GSL champion.
You know, one of my favorite jokes of all time, and I don't even think it's like a trademark Tastosis joke. Maybe they copied it and implemented it in a Nesty joke.
Most of them are, yeah.
But I died when I watched the GSL like many years ago, and they were like talking about how amazing Nesty is, yada yada, you know, like they went on this whole tantrum for 20 minutes. They just kept topping each other, and then I think that Taser said like, yeah, when Alexander Bell invented the telephone, he missed 3 calls from Nesty. Like, and I lost it. Like I died for like 3 minutes straight. I was like, oh my god, these guys are so funny.
Those guys are pretty funny guys. Well, this match is about as much of a must-win as it can get in this best of 9. SOS, you know, a lot of people are making jokes. Obviously, he's still a world-class player, but he's one of the more beatable players here. And Showtime lately has been showing phenomenal form. I hate to kind of open and salt this wound, but in all the best of 5s, Showtime had one of the most heartbreaking. In both the losses, to lose that best of 5, He was ahead and made the critical mistake.
Yeah, that game 4 was a painful one on Abyssal, but we're gonna forget about it, Jeff. We are gonna focus.
I will never forget.
On this awesome PvP that's ahead of us between this amazing player in the right bottom side, our Korean Protoss, the BlizzCon champ, twice.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
I left some space for myself.
And his opponent, coming all the way from Germany, showing us some charisma and all that muscly chest. It is.
Arma Team, showtime.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on Newkirk Precinct, by the way. It's going to be a PvP here, which makes a lot of sense. Terrans, when they play here, it ends up being a 4.5-hour game a lot of times, so they kind of avoid it. And Protoss like this map. You can take a third fairly easily. Yes, you can get dropped, but you're dropped in very predictable spaces. You don't have to expand elongating, so you can't get stretched out too bad.
There's a ramp going into the natural, so certain Blink Stalker or early gateway attacks are not incredibly powerful. And last but not least, it's a great map for early Mothership Core scouts, which I'm absolutely expecting to come out from both players, unless SOS wants to get very weird. Now, what I'm curious about is Showtime going to open up with 2 Adepts here. I think SOS absolutely will, because we know SOS likes scrappy games. I think Showtime might actually go for the Stalkers. We'll see.
You're going. That's like 99 leagues under the sea level of Protoss analysis. I like it.
Yeah, no, I'm always curious to see who's an Adept player, who's a Stalker player. There we do have, actually Showtime is opening up with both Adepts, and 1 Stalker and the Mothership Course, and probably a 2nd Stalker as well, or maybe even Stalker Sentry.
Stalker, Brett.
So Showtime is opening up with the Adepts. I don't hate this, because I think Stalkers are good defensively and obviously very safe, but Adepts give you some map presence, gives you some idea of what's happening on the other side of the map. And when you play against SOS, I think it's quite nice to have a couple of Adepts out there and to maybe spot a proxy or at least shade into the main. And if your opponent's not ready to deal with it, get a couple probes.
Kevin, when you say I don't hate this, it reminds me of like a poor blind date sales pitch. It's like, how is she or he? And you're like, well, they're very funny.
I don't get it.
No, you say you don't hate it. It means you don't like it though, right?
No, because I like the defensive Stalker. I think in general, if you're the superior player, I think Stalkers is a tiny
Jeez, I'm commentating with Todd here, but it's gonna be. How am I gonna get a joke past you? It's tough.
Jeff, is there anybody on planet Earth that loves your jokes more than me? Come on. Half the highlight clips of Homestead Cup is me laughing at your jokes.
You're right. Take it back. Did that Shade? No, that Shade did not see expansion. I actually was about to ask the question, and I immediately remembered that Shades don't see anything. But you can infer it. Sees the 1 Stalker. There's not much of a follow-up behind those Stalkers. We're not seeing. Is it? I mean, you could forget, I guess, but
yeah, it's just not that good if you go into the natural right with a ramp. If on maps like Ascension to IR, you got to be a lot more worried about those crazy builds. But when you have to go up a ramp into the natural, it's just not that tempting to go for any sort of gateway aggression.
Sometimes, sometimes I fall into that black hole of like, that's precisely why SOS would do it. You know?
Yes, no, you're not wrong.
I have to dig myself out of that. Like, no, stop doubting yourself.
No, you're spot on, because a lot of these things we're like, you know, this is really like kind of a bad idea, and then people win $100,000 tournaments with it, and we're like, well,
seems like a great idea at the time.
Yeah, we're true experts, aren't we, guys?
All right, but is SOS actually playing a very safe opening here so far?
He's getting a Twilight Console as well, and he has
look at
3 sentries. I just kind of wonder if he's going to do anything super weird with it. Probably just send some hallucinations.
I've seen 3. 3 is just like continuous hallucinations.
Yeah, I guess.
It could be the ramp Blink Stalker thing that could get there, but I don't think he built 3 sentries now because of that.
What is
oh
he
wow,
going to
Dark Templar?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's SOS, man.
Showtime still keeps his Adepts alive. He didn't want to sacrifice them. He prefers to get non-stop scouting information over and over again. Showtime is getting his Blink a little bit faster than whatever upgrade SOS decides to get. This time he is going to go for it. Missed the first volley there, Jeff. I'm not going to say it's the biggest deal ever, but he could have got at least 1 more probe here. But instead he shot at the Stalker accidentally.
Basically gets nothing. This should be a Dark Shrine, man. It's got to be. Even a War Prism coming out. Yeah. War Prism's obviously going to pop out quite a bit earlier than this, but this is so nice. The Oracle's going to show up.
Is he going to overcharge that, Jeff? No, right? I think
no,
SOS is going to call
he wants him to see the other one. And he's got to start an upgrade and even Chrono Boost it here in a second to really sell it. In SOS, he's the master con man. The master. Do it. Missed opportunity. But, you know what? He lets a full scout happen, actually. He wants it. He wants him to be like, yep, that's everything I got.
Yeah, Showtime is going up to 3 bases. I know that Showtime has an observer, but I'm not exactly sure where it is. And this is very, very dangerous. Because often when you only have one ops, you can send it to the other side of the map, and then it doesn't see what it's supposed to see. So everything is obviously very even on both sides, but this Dark Shrine could really come into play in a massive way.
It's going to be 4 Dark Templar too. It's going to be 4.
He could warp in DTs as well near that pylon and also send the Warp Prism into the main, so you have DTs into the natural and into the main base. There is nothing that Showtime can do about it.
He could. I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
No, that's too far.
Okay.
You would just do it from the warp prism, I think.
All of them?
Yeah, if you're going to do that. But I think he's just going to do a 4 DT drop.
No, he's going to, okay, so he's going to walk 2 into the natural from here. Perhaps.
You think so?
Yeah, I would always send at least 1 into the natural. Why not?
Let me see how close my brain is to SOS. Just the 2. Missed opportunity, but he's not walking. I knew that part.
So he obviously will get some damage done here, but it shouldn't be game
Not much
damage. Okay, he's just going to drop them both in the main and then run 1 into the natural. But then it's going to run straight into the observer. But Showtime's army is a little bit out of position. This is obviously quite annoying to deal with, Jeff.
It's a lot.
It's already quite some damage.
So some people look at that photon overcharge and wonder why would he do that without detection. It actually aggroes the DT, so you have to literally click through all the probes. So he picks up this one.
Oh my god, SOS is moving out with his army as well. He's gonna, that's kind of a weird move out, but he gets a little bit of work done with it, and obviously Showtime is losing more and more mining
kill the
time.
DT at the natural.
Yeah, this is getting really bad for Showtime.
Yowzers.
You can't chase that army. You gotta clean up the Dark Templars at home first, Showtime.
And now he's getting sloppy with the army out on the map. He's just kind of falling apart here a little bit. Maybe perhaps uncomfortable with how big the stage is. And he's losing more Stalkers over there as well. I mean, he still has the force to chase this back with a double Immortal, but he's lost so much, Kevin. Way more than he ever should.
Yep, lost 8 probes and obviously lost a lot of mining time as well. Right now the probes are a little bit disoriented. It could have been worse though, Jeff. Like, I have seen games where like it goes into 14, 15 probe kills very, very quickly. The biggest problem for Showtime is I think he still only has 1 observer, doesn't he? Or maybe 2, I guess he left 1 behind and 1 in the middle. But now he's getting a couple of cannons as well, which I really like. Because that Warp Prism is still around and you gotta respect it.
And you know, after all that, he's behind 5 probes, 4 or so. As you were saying, it could have been worse. It really could have. I know that's a bit of a cliche, but especially with the way he was handling it is the thing. And I thought SOS wasn't making any mistakes himself. So he comes out not necessarily unscathed, but in a position to still win this game. That means that this DT is getting more damage done.
Go right there. Interesting placement on the cannon, by the way. It's actually not in range of the gas line.
Interesting. See now, listen. Now you're really selling a bad date. I know you're saying bad. It is bad.
Awkward.
Okay, I like that. Let's play.
I just don't like to call things bad from Showtime.
All right,
it's kind of my hero.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
Did I wish we could communicate to the observer because I wonder if both DTs died because there's another one wandering out there. Is that a third that was remade or is that literally one of the first 2? Did you see? One of them.
No, he walked in 1 from the top side. I think there's still 1 like lurking.
No, yeah, they showed it. So I think he only made 3 DTs in total, though, right?
And he did quite a bit of damage with it. But Showtime is still absolutely in this game. Is he
fourth
winning?
base.
No, he's not winning. He's not ahead by any chance. But I'm not sure if SOS's advantage is big enough to just run across the map and crush German Protoss.
Well, he's at 20 army supply advantage right now. Right now, that's not enough. But if it keeps going that way, if Showtime's like, well, I'm going to tech up and really get... I don't think he is, though. He's adding 4 gateways.
That is a weird blink, though, Jeff, because now he actually, blink is going to be on cooldown. And I think SOS is coming in from the side as well. Now he can't blink yet. He's going to be able to blink soon, but now he's kind of trapped. SOS could split up his units. Wow. I didn't like that first blink at all for that probe. That wasn't necessary.
All right. Well, he's going to kind of lead him on a merry chase. His army is coming over here, but I don't think it's a big enough army to like rescue these Stalkers and then turn it around. I don't see that happening.
That's 6 army supply down the drain, and if you're already down 20, like we just mentioned, you can't just be throwing away Stalkers like this. Even though Stalkers are not the most important unit in this phase, Zealots and Archons and Immortals are a little bit stronger, especially in the straight-up fight. It's still nice to have some firepower in the back line.
Oh,
this is cool as well. He's going to wipe in a whole bunch of Zealots with these 2 Immortals, and this is going to be very, very hard for Showtime to deal with.
Showtime gets really far away from there, and actually SOS is going to respect it, backs off.
Watch his Stalkers. Defensive Stalkers. He goes for the Prism, but he doesn't get it. Overcharge is going to help out quite a bit, though. It's actually
really
very well done by Showtime. Great defense. Oh, he gets the Prism as well.
Yeah, just teleported right out of there. It's in a different region right now.
Back to Ire.
I wish that's the way the story went. You know, Showtime's been showing a little bit of kind of like spotty reactions, but that one was very good.
Perfect.
It's huge in the meta right now, by the way, guys. If you haven't seen that, it's the double Immortal, and then you warp in a whole bunch of charge lots in there, and it's just what a combo, because whatever you warp in is probably less powerful than that.
Absolutely. Like, Stalkers will obviously get murdered by the Immortals, but well done by Showtime. He warped in just in time. He blinked immediately, and that one pylon is a game save there as well. Otherwise, 2 Immortals get dropped. It's like, okay, you know, bye-bye 4 Stalkers.
He's up in workers, Kevin.
Yeah, no, it was incredibly well done. He's still down in army supply, but getting those 2 Immortals was massive.
Oh my God, Zealots, look over!
This is kind of risky though, because Showtime's army is very small right now, Jeff.
Yeah.
Look how big this army of SOS is. Like, Overcharge is good, but I don't believe it's that good.
He's got the Overcharge to his advantage a little bit. He can't fight over here. He's got to back up. He's got to get it close to a pylon. Or jump in on the back.
I don't think Showtime should fight there. I think he's spot on. I think he's going to have to go up the ramp. Gets a few more Templars. That's a lot of Archons though for SOS.
Getting pinched in the front over there as well. Bit of a spread here, and SOS can be able to clamp down on 2 weak fronts. Yes, the back base is getting ransacked, but the army here of SOS so strong, it very well could just snowball. There's the Warp Prism as well, can add some reinforcements. The supply is getting close, but the army supply is heavily in favor of SOS.
Yeah, maybe there's another Overcharge soon, but right now the Demolition Core is quite low in energy. Dark Templars coming in from the left side there as well. Look at them slicing away at Sentry Stalkers as well, and these Archons are just not going to fall. And I have no idea what Showtime is supposed to do
He's
to
supposed
stop
to tap
all
out.
these Archons.
He's going to tap out, Kevin. He had some nice moments of brilliance there. GG is called, and Showtime just gets mauled by SOS. So a couple of really cool strategies, maybe a couple of mistakes from Showtime, but SOS played a great game. We've been getting a lot of crap, we got to say, when he plays a good game.
No, absolutely. SOS played a very solid game there. Beautiful execution of almost everything he did. I wonder if he's going to give Sue a high five. Look at Sue. He's like, you did it. Not bad. Well done by SOS, and things are looking a little grim right now for the World ALLstars.
Yep, this is not looking too hot. There's still a chance to come back mathematically, like as far as they can still get enough wins to do it, but the odds,
thank you, Nick.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, but I can believe.
It's tough, man, and that was a very SOS game. Hide that Dark Shrine. You know, there's hallucinations flying in and seeing a Twilight, but nothing else, and what can you do? 2-0 to Korea already.
Yeah. It's basically just me that saw that coming.
Yeah.
And both games in the end actually quite dominant as well, you know, even though SOS did lose that prison with the Immortals. Other than that, he played a very solid game.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Stats was ever in any real trouble in that first game.
He was not. I mean, they're bringing their air game today, guys.
Yeah, they're like, well, what are these nerds talking on stage? They're being so mean to us, you know? Like, if you guys are mean to us on stage, we'll be very mean in game.
Oh my.
So far, they have been doing just that.
SOS played really crisp. It's funny because we've gotten to see quite a bit of these guys over a few days.
Right.
Showtime made some mistakes. The DT harass, he was like kind of late to react even with the one observer that he had. He was starting to attack a DT, but then he F2'd his army away from it or something like that.
Didn't he activate a pylon too when there was no detection there?
No, but that's good because the DT, if it's not right-clicked through the probes, will actually go attack the pylon.
Okay, that's smart.
I also think that in the end of the game, he sent like, what was it, 12, 14 Zealots towards the right top side. Maybe that was a tiny bit too early because this was still facing a game where you have the smaller army, so you kind of needed those units at home. Now, I'm not sure if the Zealots would have made the difference against the 9 Archons that SOS had. Well, Showtime only had 4, but he still sent away like 30
To me, that's
supply.
unlucky though. Like his army, he was down like 4 Archons and 1 Immortal, so it's not like he had 70 supply less or something like that. And you do want to shave off the Zealots and make... I mean, I don't
Maybe
disagree
a few too
with
many
you.
at once.
I'm just more saying that was more bad luck in my opinion than a huge like weird mistake he made.
Or SOS is just that good that he capitalizes on that immediately. Like you send units
He
away.
did see the one Zealot at the top
Yep.
because all 14 were passing. This one Zealot was like, "Hi guys, they're over here." And he's like, all right, let's just go attack then.
We're going to be going on to our third match here. I got to say, I think the non-Koreans are holding on, but they're not able to pull out that one win. Do you think we need to see maybe more cheeses here? Or, I mean, SOS is pulling out like a DT rush here.
Well, the non-Koreans are holding on in that they haven't gotten off the stage and walked out of the tournament. So,
I mean, they're at least lasting in the games. They're both macroing and making stuff.
That's true.
And then, but
they're not dying to Zerg
They're
rushes.
not dying to Link rushes yet.
Well,
but I mean,
Nick's like,
should we see some more risky plays? Should we see some more risky plays from the non-Koreans? Maybe try to roll the dice and maybe do an all-in or what?
Neep is coming out next. I mean, come on. Neep is the American hero. He's kind
Actually,
of the
yeah, for him, we
all-star
probably-
right now.
that's our pulse
We
check.
should have a standard game
If
for
Neep
that.
loses, we're like, hey,
if
more
Neep
StarCraft's
loses-
fun, you know?
Sorry, guys.
We're out of here. If Neeb loses, then I'm really not going to be optimistic anymore at all. Neeb is a must-win game for the World All-Stars. But I mean, maybe something like if Iasonu would do like, let's say like a 13-12 against Su, I wouldn't hate that. Like that would be pretty good, obviously. But Neeb doesn't have to cheese Hero. Like Neeb is Neeb. He's freaking good.
Yeah, Neeb is our most solid hope.
Yeah. If Neeb can't win, who can win?
I don't know.
The other guys.
Oh,
they'll have a shot.
All right, we are about to go into our next match.
They kept him in the
closet. I love this stage, by the way. This is so cool.
I want one of the times for the door to open is literally 2 DJs. And we're like, oh no, dance party.
Well, this is Blizzard, not Valve, so we are going to finish all our games and have a nice ending before that for sure.
You're right. I gotta say, Neeb, but when we saw him play against SOS earlier in our GSL versus the World Tournament, I was so wowed at how he really understood the super late game in PvP. I don't know if we'll have a game this long this time around, but if we do, that would be a treat.
It is Acolyte though, Tasteless, so there is a good chance that this is going to be quite a long game, and I totally agree with you. I love the way that Neeb played his PvPs earlier. He was behind in some of those games, but he turned it around and he showed us that he has great understanding of what composition to go for in which phase of the game. So,
how much Artosis do you think Hero comes out with a chip on his shoulder because of how bad his match was? Does he want to win this even more? Does that make him scarier or worse?
Well, I mean, this guy has nothing to lose in this point, right? He's played terrible in this tournament, but he just got like the finals over in Shanghai. He is in fantastic shape, and I think he comes out aggressive, to be honest. I think he comes out extremely aggressive because on Acolyte, Neeb is a macro PvP player. You don't, Acolyte is going to be a map where Neeb is going to kill Hero if everything progresses normally, so.
All right, Dan. Well, Blizzard asked that we allow you guys to commentate some of these as well, so.
Thanks, guys.
Kevin and I are going to join the audience.
Guys.
All right, take care, guys. Let's go into game number 3 here. Neeb holding on to the Foreigner might. Can we start a comeback here? I think if there's anybody that's going to do it, it should be him, but Hero is no joke, that's for sure.
Well, the stats maybe was, but now, no. One of the greatest in the world.
Yeah, in the upper right, in the blue.
Root Gaming, Hero.
In the bottom left, in the red, he is
Team Neeb.
Hero going with the Nexus first, Tasteless, but Neeb going to scout this, and I'm sure that he has some sort of plan to counter it. You know, this is not like a completely unexpected build for this map, is it?
No, I mean, you could pretty much, it's very tempting to do on a map like this. You know, you can get it for free, and if you get that momentum, you can really use that to your advantage. But for Neeb here, I'm curious what that response is going to be exactly. We see he's now walling off his entrance here with the core gateway and pylon.
And that's his second probe going out. So this probe is for proxying specifically. Not sure exactly what he wants to proxy. Like, the thing is, something like a Stargate, you're going to be prepared for that with the Nexus first build.
Yeah.
So, not exactly sure. Like, it could be something like a Robo, right? Do a quick Prism, something like that.
It's interesting. It's not the way I'm used to seeing Neeb play, at least from what we've had in this tournament so far, but you're 100% right, Artosis. He is trying to hide something over here in the center right.
Must be a Stargate, right? Based on where
I would assume so. I mean, if it was a Robo, I think it would be not there. I mean, this is a location that does give you really quick access to the main. So let's see what it is. The pylon's about to finish.
Oh, DT drop perhaps.
Okay. Very interesting.
It could be. I don't want to overcall that too quickly, but I think he's going to throw it on a Robo and a Dark Shrine here.
Well, if Robo in that sense, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
So what he's doing here, and I do think it'll be DT drop. This is like a blind countering build against greedy PvP play. It's something that got developed on Proxima. Let's see if there's a Dark Shrine. Yeah, there must be.
I mean, this was the only thing that makes sense as far as I can tell for what he's doing. If he's going to sit it, we don't have Blink here yet. It's got to be a Dark Shrine. Well, this is a cool attempted hard counter here.
Yeah.
At Hero, trying to. I mean, Hero probably saw how good Neeb's late game was, it might have even considered, okay, I got to really try to get a leg up on this guy if I'm going to hold my own, because, of course, Hero is somebody who usually likes to get in there and start throwing punches right away. So Neeb completely doing a reversal and trying to come in here.
Well, yeah, this is like, for instance, this is a risk, but this is something that popped up on Proxima. Oh my God, he counters it right there with the Robo. But it's something that popped up on Proxima because it's like, well, you can take such a fast Nexus and then just go Phoenixes. Yeah. And that counters basically everything. The last thing you want against Phoenixes would be like a Robo, but here we are, and I mean, the DT drop, it could do damage still, but there is a Robo on the way.
Yep, that Robo a little bit over halfway done. And of course, with the DT's not yet warped in, it looks like he should be able to deflect this. He will, of course, have to deal with the fact that the Robo, if it gets away, can always drop back in later. Keep trying to draw some attention over here at the front and peek in. Okay, how many Stalkers does he have? Do I see any definitive tech that I can get? And as the Robo, as the Observer, I'm assuming the Observer's going to start. No, he's starting Immortal. Okay, that's a big difference.
That's a big deal.
I actually simply assumed he was going to have Obs first, but no.
Well, this is the only build you need Obs against is this one. Immortal's good against everything else. So.
Right.
Oh, a scary moment. Okay, he cancels that, goes immediately into an Observer.
All right, the DT's now headed up over here towards the main. He needs to get as many probes as possible. The Observer's about halfway finished. Got some kills going in here. 4 kills so far, and a lot of lost mining timing.
Yeah, this isn't terrible so far. We'll see how many he ends up getting. Okay, so 6 kills, tons of lost mining time coming out as well. Their worker counts are even, and Neeb has another Nexus. He's getting Blink. He has a Prism. He has DTs. This is okay for Neeb. He did well enough. And this is a build that, even though it's a little bit of a risk, and you won't always do damage, like if he went Observer first, right, you get far less kills, but like, there was the potential of a free win there as well. So I like how Neeb has played this, and he's done well enough.
DT coming up now. Going to take on a few more workers, and a good pickup here by Neeb. Again, you know, it's not just the initial DTs that come in there and do the damage. It's also the fact that this Warp Prism can keep flying back in, which it puts Hero in an uncomfortable spot. Hero basically can't leave his base, so I really like the direction he's taking this. If Hero can, however, shut down that Warp Prism, then he has a lot more options to try to do other tricks. And of course, you never want to let Hero have control of the map. That's when he really starts to win his games.
Indeed, you're right about that. Now look, the DTs did a bit more damage. Neeb is up in workers at this point. He's got good tech. Hero has good tech as well, but with Blink finishing up here, Neeb definitely does have a lead. Quicker third Nexus even.
Okay, once again, Warp Prism's empty note, but of course, Hero doesn't know that. Hero's thinking, oh crap, you know, he might drop anything out of here. I gotta respect this. And Neeb beginning to get more gateways. I do like the direction Neeb's taking this. And Neeb overall, throughout these past 4 days or so, has just been blowing us away in PvP.
Oh God, he just looks so strong. And in fact, even in PvT, he's looked great. So, definitely a player that if we get to that ace match, might come out for his team. Now, it looks like Hero's going to just go ahead and scout across the map with one of his 3 observers, see what's going on down here. Not going to get too much intel with it, but does see the Immortals coming in. He, of course, already knows there's a proxy Robo, though.
Okay, we got double Forges coming down here. Neeb definitely pointing this game towards the late game, giving a nod to the fact that he wants to have all the tools at his disposal to be tough enough to take on possibly what will be a maxed out army. This is a map where it's definitely, you feel safe turtling on once you get all your tech up. Of course, the third pretty easy to acquire once you've got everything covered in your 2 bases over there. And I don't know if either side is going to be really engaging each other for a little bit.
Yeah, there's no real attack timing here for Hero, in my opinion. Right?
It's hard to have an incentivized rush or attack strategy, 3 base versus 3 base in general in PvP, unless you can get a Warp Prism one place and then try to hit the front, but that can be risky in of itself.
Yeah, and that oftentimes looks exactly the same, like the 2 Immortal drop with the Zealot Warping ring around it. Nice little harass coming out of Hero here, dropping a couple of depths in. We'll see what he can get done with them.
Okay, nothing too special. It does get 3 probes. Neeb, of course, deflects that pretty easily. Neeb now moving out with a handful of Stalkers of his own. Is he trying to catch the Warp Prism on the way back? I think he actually... Do we see where the Warp Prism is on the minimap, Artosis?
I'm not sure where it is. I think it's just at, like, the 4th base of Neeb. That kind of looks like that.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. So he doesn't manage to catch it. He pokes in here on the front. Immortals now being pumped out on both sides. These guys are also both frantically upgrading to get to a proper place in the late game.
Double Forge, really important at the moment. Disruptors have gone out of style greatly in this matchup. It's very much about making tons of charge lots, kind of having that control by having so many units that your opponent can't really come out.
Yeah.
And both players taking their 4th bases at the right time.
That War Prism still orbiting around outside the backdoor expansion here for Neeb. Neeb definitely getting a little bit of momentum here. He's expanding again, as is Hero. Note the different locations are choosing to expand. Neeb basically hugging his quadrant of the map, where it seems like Hero may be continuously trying to just take over at the very top.
Well, yeah, that is kind of interesting, like where Hero chose to his 4th compared to Neeb. I think this could just have to do with like the unit counts. Hero should know that Neeb's macro was a little bit quicker this game, but they're kind of ending up in the same spot at this point.
Yeah, I think things have basically balanced out. Now, the question is Hero going to be okay in super late game against somebody like Neeb? We always think of Hero as the guy who's able to get in there and trip up his opponent early, get him rocked, have him against the ropes, and then finish him off with a kill move. But this game is going in an opposite direction.
And the only real difference that we see, Hero's kind of making an extra Nexus a little bit more quickly, and getting as well Oracles out. So definitely can be used for tagging. Stasis wards can be okay. And of course, you know, you get in there with harassment. Occasionally an late Oracle can get some probe kills.
So we have Neeb Stalkers now returning back home. It looks like he's going to have to give up on that Robo there in the center right, possibly just remake that at home. Meanwhile, Neeb seems to be moving out a little bit. Hero does take another expansion over here in the top left.
Neeb, I like this move out timing a lot, to be honest. If you're lining this up, his 2-2 should be finishing very, very shortly here. And of course, again, his macro all kind of came out quicker after that DT drop. So should be up in supply just a little bit. That 2-2 still not quite done, which means that actually Hero does lead in upgrades.
So let's see if he can actually try to get in here. I'm not sure if Hero is just going to go ahead and sack this expansion over here. Nice drops with the placement over here, and Hero's base is actually too good, bouncing those Zealots off.
Okay, Neeb gonna run in as his Zealots harass in that main base. Too many Archons. He pulls back, and Hero warping quite a few units at home as well. Will be safe against this.
So far, so good here for Hero. I don't believe Neeb's aware of that base over there in the upper left. And a great Stalker harass down here, taking out about 6 probes, doing a little bit more damage than what Neeb's done. Oh, no! Oops. Big mistake there by Hero. Now that War Prism's out of the game. However, it looks like Hero may be on for the attack.
Oh, God, the Archon's getting tons of damage against these Zealots right now. Hero with a big army moving down. Looks like he's starting to win this fight a little bit. Nice force fields as well. Those 2 Immortals in the back not shooting for a really long time.
Yeah, Hero just seems to have premium location here to be able to dish out that damage. Immortals, of course, split off from the rest of the army. I'm not sure if Neeb can get the rest of his forces over here to try to protect these Immortals. He does jump back in. Some Zealots now rallying, and again, remember the War Prism was gunned down, so there's no way for Neeb to try to reinforce this.
That was a big problem, and Hero had a great snipe there, moving right in immediately with the rest of his army, and takes the army advantage, really for the first time in the game.
Okay, Hero now moving down. I think the way that Neeb's expanded, it's going to be hard to pick off any one of these bases. Unlike, I think if Hero had lost that fight, Neeb would have gone up there and stomped out the upper left. Unfortunately, Neeb never caught on to the fact that Hero had that up there.
Once again, we see Hero with that F2 key, moving around the map, 3 observers and the Mothership Core with his army. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing. Your opponent has DT tech. You lose those observers, it's very easy to lose them against Archons. Things can definitely go south very, very quickly.
Okay, we have some Stalkers now coming up here for Neeb. He may try to blink up into the main, or maybe just try to snipe some Templars, anything he can actually get. But the placement here is just too good, and those Templars go ahead and morph into an Archon.
Yeah, it's not efficient time use either to utilize a small group of Blink Stalkers against mass Zealots. Sure, you can do some fancy Blink Micro and pick them off over time, but really right now, it's about making sure you have the right unit count, you're expanding, you're getting your upgrades as well.
Yeah. Okay, Hero now moving back up towards the center. This group of Stalkers isolated over here. We're finally having Hero get his Dark Shrine up as well. And I think Hero's going to regroup Artosis and try to push into this base in the center left. I think he just barely has enough. Oh, okay. Or open up these rocks over here to give him avenues to attack in many different angles.
Definitely agree with you on that. This is a good time for him right now. He's got a really, really strong army. Both players getting 3-3. And of course, Hero having that 5th base up just a little bit longer than Neeb.
Okay. Neeb is going to have to be ready. But his army's not in position at all.
Ooh.
Oh, this is a disaster. There's no way to save this base.
Yeah.
In fact, you have to have your main army below that ramp.
And you can't run down it against Archons.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Everything.
That's instant death. Zealot's now headed northbound over here for Neeb. Neeb definitely starting to lag behind as this game goes forward. Hero up a base as well as, oh, he's going to be up 2 bases as he expands again. And even the Zealot attack here, is he going to go for a Nexus or probes or try to split him?
You know, maybe he'll get a little bit of damage done here, but the recall by Hero will help him to clean up.
Now, while this army's pulled back over here, especially into the main, there is an option for Neeb to try to move out again, but I just don't know if he has the muscle on the middle of the map to punish anything as long as Hero's hyper-vigilant.
You know, there might be a timing coming up for Neeb because Hero has added some additional Stargates. Of course, both sides getting the fleet beacon. They do want the mothership out, but if Hero starts like 3 carriers, let's say, he's going to be down in army supply, right? Like right now, we don't see that. He's very close to max. Neeb isn't quite yet, but Neeb can max when he wants to. And if Hero like gives away a few units and wants to go into carriers, that can become a nice time for Neeb to attack in and just have finally an advantage again.
3 DTs coming down here. I don't see any detection in this area. Does he go just straight for the Nexus? Oh, and 1 Oracle flying in there. Bad move there, unfortunately, by him to end up losing that unit. Now the DTs are going ham here on the Nexus. Neeb needs to get this up. Where's his observer? I don't see it yet.
That's a very good question, Dasus. I'm looking around. I don't see it as well. And, I mean, Neeb is sitting here losing another Nexus. He has those cannons, but they are no longer powered. Things are not looking super good for him right now.
No, not at all, unfortunately. And I feel like Hero is slowly closing in. Granted, Neeb might still be able to hold off 1 or 2 attacks. I feel like overall, Hero has a lot more wiggle room than Neeb does.
You can't deny the power right now of Neeb's army, sure, but Hero's been so much more on top of having his bases, not really taking too much economic damage either. How does Neeb start to fight back against this?
Okay, DT's going to try to slip in here into the main base for Neeb. Looks like Neeb's actually in pursuit. He does not get the block off there.
Okay, at this point,
oh my gosh,
geez,
not good. And with the mothership almost done here as well. Oof.
Yeah, but 5 carriers on the way. Okay, so carriers are kind of funny because the first couple times when you have, like, let's say 3 carriers, 4 carriers, 5 carriers, plus 3 Archons will kill the interceptors so unbelievably quickly.
Yeah.
So, like, it takes a little bit for carriers to pay off, and it takes a long time for them to build. So that is a ton of supply that he has in carriers. Look at the army supply right now. Neeb has an army advantage. He might not know it, but this is a time where he could get damage done.
Yeah, you're totally right. There is like a transition phase you got to go through if you're going to get carriers. Because carriers, when you get a certain amount, it becomes hugely problematic. But if you get them when there's just a small number, totally different story.
Dude, Hero's such a master, though. He's setting in DTs, small groups of Zealots.
Yeah.
He's just kind of giving away a few units here and there and keeping Neeb busy, cleaning up these tiny harassments that don't mean anything. If he buys the time for his carriers to come out, he suddenly has a gigantic advantage.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Neeb's going to be comfortable acting on the map. I mean, he's basically been pushed back the entire time. Everything Neeb's tried, Hero seems to just have an answer for. And I think some of this we saw beginning to fall apart, actually, when Neeb did not identify that Hero had a base in the upper left and probably thought the tempo of this game was actually quite different as well.
Yeah. These Zealots actually doing some significant damage over here. DT's being warped in to clean up, but a DT of Hero comes up as well. 5 carriers are out, and actually, Neeb coming in for a strong attack finally.
He's coming in. He is going to wipe out this base, but Hero's down here attacking as well. Where does this game go? This is actually kind of crazy, Artosis. The carriers alone are not going to cut it, though, against that many Archons from Neeb.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So Neeb's army is kind of a death ball, but he's taking a lot of damage all over the place. So he must deal significant damage. I do like how Hero's kind of sitting at home with carriers, making 5 more. Eventually, he'll just warp home and have a better composition because of these carriers.
I think you are right. He's going to come in here now, kind of an odd game. Does Neeb actually want to go into the upper right and try to take out any Stargates or anything like that?
Jeez.
This is a really tricky situation.
Well, he has to like go up the ramp and start to really kill things, because if you look at the bank, over 3,000 minerals here for Hero.
Yeah.
He won't run out of interceptors.
Oh, here we go.
That's a good move. He's got to get out of here now.
He's got the army split up very nicely, but of course this does allow Neeb then to rush into the upper right and maybe try to do some damage over there. Some of Neeb's army actually for a second getting fished back towards those Archons.
We might see him actually have to recall into the main base as well. If he loses too much here,
yeah.
I mean, Neeb has a lot of mobility to him
I think
at the moment.
Neeb might be handling this just a little bit better, and so he is going to do just that.
Right now, those interceptors doing some massive damage. The Immortals not really being all that helpful. The rest of Neeb's army coming up and joining. Interceptors getting picked off, but they will be rebuilt. Notice still pretty big mineral bank here for Hero.
Right now, supplies are virtually the same. There are enough Archons here for Neeb, an almost ridiculous amount, that he can pretty much deal with the interceptors if he just controls it right.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so he has vision of everything. Both sides do. They've tagged each other with their oracles. Definitely a very important moment as well. Some time warps going down. The interceptors still being picked off, but they rebuild very quickly. A big battle going on. The Archons here of Hero slowing everything down so he can rebuild his interceptors, but will that be quick enough?
These Zealots coming into blindside on the corner. I'm not sure, though, he has enough anti-air. Oh, hold on. He's getting underneath the carriers.
Oh, is that going to be enough, though? The carriers continue to gain interceptors every single second. Some stalkers coming in as well. He blinks forward, trying to target down carriers. Can Neeb finish off Hero?
This is insane. The Immortal's still doing damage just underneath these carriers here for Hero. Hero barely hanging on. The mothership does go down, and Neeb taps out. GG. That was a crazy ending.
That was a crazy ending.
Cool game.
Hero did a fantastic job this game, okay? He dealt with the DTs in his base, didn't take too much damage, but he did fall behind.
Yeah.
And then when he was transitioning into carriers, he kept Neeb busy. If Neeb would have realized that, oh, there's 3 DTs in my base, now there's 2 Zealots over here, if he had realized what was going on, that Hero was giving away a little bit of supply and keeping Neeb busy so that Hero could go into 5 carriers, an attack then could have proved to be the changing factor that would have given Neeb a victory.
I gotta say, man, I am getting a little bit scared, Artie. No matter what, we're gonna go through all 8 games, but I'm really hoping we can start to see a comeback here. Neeb was kind of our last hope. Wow, Neeb really beat up over that last loss. Understandable, of course.
Well, you know, this happens sometimes. He's a great PvP player, but so is Hero. Hero had a bad day against stats, but definitely pulled it out well here, even going to that late game and showing that he can macro PvP with the best of them.
Who's our next player? Are we actually having special yet? I believe.
I don't think special yet. Is it T.Y. Kelliger next?
It's either T.Y. Kelliger or special. I think you might be right. I think it actually is T.Y. Kelliger. But that's going to be a lot of fun.
Well,
but that's also going to be a really tough one. We need a miracle. Coach Nesty warging into every player's body on the Korean side, playing each matchup, playing against each player. Stefano, the pressure's on for him right now. Definitely looking a little bit grim. I mean, how is this team going to come back from this?
Yeah, it is definitely a tough one, man. To go down 0-3 with some of the very best foreigners already having played in matchups that we thought were absolutely doable for the foreigners.
Yeah.
It's a disappointing result so far.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can have a comeback, or if we can have a few quick wins here from our non-Korean team, even if we already end up with it only a tie or nothing else at all. We are moments away from going into this next match as well. Again, each player, it's a best of one against each player from the other side. We're going to go to that 4th best of one right now. Sick. T.Y. Kelliger. Let's do this.
Okay. It is a tough one indeed. Kelliger, an extremely strong Terran player, but T.Y., I mean, this is a guy that even beat Special in GSL, knocked Special out of GSL by beating him twice, 4-1. And then Special is someone that 3-0'd Kelliger, right? So, by the transitive property of StarCraft, that means that TY should beat Kelliger. But it doesn't always go that way, does it, Tasteless?
You know, Kelliger, this is going to be one of the biggest challenges for him yet. Kelliger, a guy I really respect. He trains hard, he grinds hard, and he's always interested in improving more. But, man, TY is a very scary player. One of the 4 horsemen for Terran.
Yeah. In fact, maybe the scariest of the horsemen thus far. He's looking just ridiculous this year. He's playing in the finals against Innovation a bit later on. So definitely something that Innovation should be paying attention to. What TVP strats are you busting out here today, TY?
That is a good point. Okay. We're moments away from getting this started. Our map is going to be Whirlwind. Does Kelliger want to do anything crazy? Cheese, all in.
Yes, I mean, I think he should. He should do
out of all the matches, I think this is the one.
Something very aggressive, maybe like a one-base double gas type of play.
Absolutely.
Possibly even Reapers proxied.
Yeah.
We've seen TY lose to Proxy Marauder before as well. There's a lot of builds he could use, and I tell you what, with Special being on his team, someone who talks TBT with TY all the time, who practices with him all the time, maybe you set him up with a good strat.
All right, guys, let's do this. TY versus Kelliger on the map Whirlwind. Kelliger needs to tie this up, or TY is going to make this so that we only have a draw, or the Koreans lose, or win, excuse me. Otherwise, it's going to be Kelliger letting us still cling to hope on the English-speaking stream. In the bottom right, in the blue, our Terran player, one of them, he is.
Splice TY.
In the upper left, in the red.
Root Gaming, Kelliger.
Artie.
Yes.
What is Kelliger making on the map?
Ooh.
What is Coach Stefano whisper in your ear, Kelliger?
Okay, well, this proxy location, I like it, Tasteless. It's a risky one. He's doing a 66% proxy. If TY would be top right, Kelliger would be extremely behind. But, you know, he's saying, you're probably one of these 2 bases at the bottom.
Stefano looking pretty happy right now. He knows there's a chance. There is hope.
There certainly is. Kelliger, someone who's been practicing in Korea for a very long time. Been cracking that top 50 GM on Korea. Very strong player.
Now, Kelliger has not scouted TY here yet, right? He's actually going to go check the main in the bottom left. And then, now he knows if it's, basically if TY were to be in the top right, because this is an odds build, what is this, the 2/3 build or whatever you want to call it? 66% build. Then it would be bad. But fortunately, although TY is not in the bottom left location, he is in the bottom right. So there's still a close enough proximity where this rush can be a real threat.
Totally there is. Now, TY does have a Reaper out. Finds Kelliger scouting SCV, nothing too crazy going on yet. Looks like he wants to keep that Reaper at home for now. I think TY probably thinking in his head that there could be a cheese coming in, but he actually starts an add-on. So this could give an opportunity to these Reapers to do some damage.
Now TY is going to come up here and notice immediately that there is, oh my God. He has no idea. Not only did he miss the main, but he's now getting hit with the proxy as well.
Can Kelliger do what a lot of people have been doubting and take down TY, giving a win to the foreigners here?
Okay, come on, Kelliger. This is for the world. He's going to micro his heart out here. These SCVs are taking a ton of damage. The Wallen is not complete. He can get on top of production. Good
nice
dodge.
Yeah, nice mine coming out there by TY. He's got to keep that Reaper alive. It is so important at the moment. The SCVs all being pulled. Now a Hellion coming out. Definitely some damage being put on these Reapers, but they just retreat for now. And even the CC gets canceled. Kelliger with a strong opening.
By the way, TY is still not scouted his opponent.
Oh, bounces that Marine down and gets the kill.
Guns him down on the low ground. Pretty sick.
Cyclone being made at home, a starport as well here for Kelliger. So definitely not done quite yet.
Is he going to be able to sneak into the main?
That's a lot of units on the high ground. I don't know if you want to risk that. I think if he waits for some more units, maybe that's the best way.
Okay, he actually runs by. Oh, wow. Actually jumps back down again. Kind of a tricky situation here.
Well, remember the Reaper's heal. If he puts any damage, for instance, on those Marines, until you have a medevac, they're going to be damaged.
Yeah, we were joking about that in one of the previous GSLs, but it's true. I mean, they do heal. Amongst all other things, they heal. Kelliher has now finally been spotted in his proper starting location. TY having a very bumpy start, but he seems to be stabilizing.
The Barracks coming over to kind of scout here for Kelliher. He's going to be able to see where everything is. Of course, you can abuse that ramp if you see things coming down. Throw some grenades down.
Okay, a few more nades chucked down here. It's important that Kelliher keeps every Reaper alive, otherwise he really starts to lose a lot of momentum.
Yeah, he lost like a few in there, but overall, I would say this definitely was successful. He's up by 5 SCVs. He forced to cancel the command center. This is good stuff. But now Cloak on the way here for TY, but Kelliher at home making a Raven.
Yeah, very true. So we're kind of powering up here on one base for a little bit for the time being for TY, but TY is itching to try to get out here. And it looks like he's sort of flipped on his whole opening. He's finally going to get an expansion. They're both getting Ravens. This game may normalize Artosis, and that might be scary for Kelliher.
Yeah, it could be, but you know, he has a little bit of an edge right now. I think he's thrown TY off for sure, but if there's a player who can kind of come back after being thrown off in this way, TY would definitely be on the short list.
Okay, 2 Cyclones coming up now. Great targeting here. Can he gun these down? The Reapers are not lasting long enough, and I think TY might be able to turn this.
Oh, one of those Cyclones takes a lot of damage indeed. Kelliher may be throwing down a few more grenades than he really wanted to right off the bat.
Yeah, I think so. You got to be patient. That's what Beyond always does. Yeah. He knows there's a time and a moment, and that was definitely a bad engage right there. I think Kelliher is starting to panic. He's starting to realize that this game, if he was going to win it, should have ended a few minutes ago. And instead, TY is still making stuff. TY is now getting to second base.
Okay, so right now, yeah, that third command center on the way for TY, that is really nice indeed. Kelliher backing up finally, and you know, really, as you said, the time for aggression has passed. You can't just keep poking up a ramp nonstop.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole point is, you know, you get that momentum. You come in there, you start to do that damage. They get so behind that you can follow it up with another blow and another blow, another blow, and knock them out. But otherwise, and what we saw Kelliher do back there was he just fed into his opponent's defense. And if you do that a couple times, they're going to die to the counterattack real quick.
Yeah, that's true. Couple siege tanks out, couple Ravens out, so TY getting a very powerful army. Great defensively. Whatever happened to that Banshee and Cloak he was making? Did he cancel all that? Like, I haven't seen it at all.
I don't see it on the mini-map, and I don't see it with the army, but...
Not so sure. There's a lot of action during that time. But that third command center still being built.
As the Raven now comes down here to try to chuck some turrets. We'll see how much damage this can actually do. Again, you know, Kelliher going with an opening, which in a lot of ways made perfect sense because he doesn't want to play TY in a long game. He did do some damage, but TY managed to fend it off, and now it's Kelliher playing by TY's rules, and TY is one of the best players in the whole world at developing into a normal game and having good engages. And I feel like Kelliher, one of his weaker points is actually how some of his engages go a lot of the time.
You know, I feel like he's a player that is not at his peak yet. He's a player that's still improving quite quickly, and this is like the first really big year for him. We all knew who Kelliher was for the last few years.
Right.
He's been popping up here and there, but this is not Kelliher's final form yet, and he's putting on a good game. Like, look at the supply right here. It's just about even. Everything's looking okay. Like, definitely he can still fight against TY from here, but, you know, give him a couple years, man. It might be the TY that we're hoping has a chance against Kelliher.
Yeah, but I don't think he's, you know, until he's in his final form, I'm just not sure. Let's see where TY decides to go next. We have Kelliher taking his third base up here. We don't have TY quite doing that just yet. Kelliher flying around with these 2 Ravens. There were 2, okay, that's a great play. Just to cut down that tank.
Really love moves like that. Does pick off that siege tank. And going to force the SCVs to run, getting just a few kills here and there.
I don't know if this is worth it, though, to lose these to the Vikings. I mean, that's one of the... See, I think that's a problem with decision-making, right? You could have kept those back. Instead, he goes all the way through the main.
Yeah, going through the main, I think, was probably the issue, especially considering TY is one of the main Terrans that likes to have air control and make Vikings. I think once you initially throw down those auto turrets, if he just turns around and beelines out of there...
Well, then it's acceptable, but you know the moment that the Ravens are in there. You saw the Vikings earlier. Kelliher did see the 2 Vikings that fired him. He already chucked 1 auto turret earlier to try to escape that in the middle of the map. I don't know why he would go through the main then and possibly lose that as well.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a mistake, and losing those 2 Ravens is not going to do him any favors during air battles, but I think that the proper play from this spot is for Kelliher to play the more aggressive style. Get mobile with your Marine Medevac siege tank. Don't worry about the Vikings, don't worry about the air. Use the couple extra scans and try to find a hole in TY.
Okay, a scan here on TY's army. Kelliher interested in engaging, decides to instead rotate around, possibly through the middle here. TY, I don't know if he could be broken or Tosis. He's looking pretty solid. But that being said, Kelliher's actually doing a great job macroing. I mean, he's definitely powering up.
He's focusing really heavily on Marines, and he's got +2 attack on the way when +1 is not half done for TY. So there are advantages for Kelliher. You know, TY's position looks like a strong defensive, long game winning position, but right now I'm looking at how Kelliher is, how big the map is, how their cross spawns. I don't mind where he's at all.
You know, something else to keep note of, Artosis, is like, Kelliher, I like the idea of what he's doing. It's just some of the things he's done, like how he's done it, not what he's trying to do, but some of the stuff he's, like the way he's executed some of that is problematic. But you're right. I mean, there's a supply lead. He just needs 1 or 2 good engages.
And I think that he can definitely get those. Look at this. He's coming over here.
Great
Lures
job
in a few Marines.
Yeah, great trapping there by Kelliher. Now, will he try to actually push through this bottom location? We're going to see.
Yeah, I don't think so quite yet. Just keep maneuvering around. He has map control at the moment. Now, TY has a very specific style in TVT. Eventually, he'll make a few medevacs here, right? Like right now, he's focusing kind of on air control and all that. But when he gets the medevacs, he'll stay home with most of his units defending, and then send out a drop, knowing his opponent is kind of like roaming around looking for damage.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for damage with such a large army, and TY shows up at your base with 3 medevacs, 4 medevacs, something like that, you're going to take a lot of damage from that Marine drop. So that's the one place where I'm worried for Kelliher.
Okay, I like the sensor tower here for TY. I think this is a good response. Now, I don't know if he can actually push up through here, though.
No, I don't think so.
But I'm not sure what his game plan is exactly. There's also a lot of Ravens here. We could see could have some spellage here, Artosis.
Definitely could have. Ooh, the Liberator's kind of pushing everything back there for a moment.
But, you know, Kelliher now taking another base. Again, another drop completely denied.
Worth a try, I think, as he's getting close to max, but doesn't want to do that too many times. 1 medevac he's not going to feel at this supply, but you know what? He's taken a 4th base, continues to have map control, and where is TY at?
Yeah, well, he's at 160.
Well, he's getting some medevacs as well. So those drops will begin to exit by TY. He is going to start mixing it up very soon.
I really appreciate how patient TY has been here. He's going to wait until he's all the way into the later part of the game where their supplies can start to actually balance out. Because Kelliher is still in a lead in that regard. Hold up. We're going to have an attack? No. Kelliher bouncing back off this. Moving back to the middle.
TY's defensive position is super strong. Like, you're not going to break this right now. So, oh my God, a big drop being loaded up right now by Kelliher.
He's going to come in here now, moving through the bottom. Now, I think Kelliher may try to draw some attention into the sensor tower over at the top.
Yeah.
And then try to drop over to this new base in the bottom center.
Even scans it to really make it look like he's going.
All right, here we go.
Very nice move coming out of Kelliher. Can he get this command center? Yes, it looks like he can.
Okay, great play.
That was fantastic.
Even takes out that other sensor tower that was down over there. Oh, Kelliher peeking in this location again, guys. Right now the Koreans are up 3 wins to the World All-Stars 0. But Kelliher may be able to turn this game around.
This is one of the matches that we all kind of discounted going in. Kelliher's TVT has looked a bit shaky against Special, but here he is, and he continues to have a lead against TY.
Kelliher, though, you know, he's got to be playing, I think, probably one of the most intense TVTs of his entire life, right? He managed to cripple TY a little bit early on, but now this game, hold on. Is he going to get that drop?
Those are those 2 medevacs I've been talking about, Tasis. Yep. Here we go. He's going to get out there, and he can, like, deny this, or he can go for a bigger drop. Okay, looks like he does want to deny and try to harass at the same time. Most of Kelliher's army on the map. Oh, he has a planetary there, so shouldn't take too much damage at least.
Okay, TY tries to move out and is immediately denied here. The bottom center base has been reclaimed. There's definitely enough tanks for that sensor tower. Not an easy way for Kelliher to get in there. TY finally meeting the same supply that his opponent has, Kelliher.
will TY now begin to push possibly?
Well, he's got everything almost sewn up tight. I'd like to see him just make sure he has enough missile turrets. That drops are going to be a bad idea for Kelliger.
Yeah.
And then sure, yeah, start pushing out a little bit more. Kelliger, though, continues to load up these Doom drops, continues to make command centers all over the map.
Okay, here come those medevacs now. Is there enough to defend? Marines are stimming, tanks are sieging. Again, TY with the defender's advantage. We see Kelliger's supply beginning to plummet.
Oh man, this drop was a brave one indeed from Kelliger. How much damage will it get done? Looks like he takes out the Liberators, so the siege tanks continue to damage, but TY will eventually clean it all up.
Yeah, certainly he will. We saw some of those tanks actually hitting some of those SCVs, but the tanks were also dealing splash damage to themselves. And it looks like Kelliger has been shut down. And even though Kelliger is expanding at a very incredible rate, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hang on. TY is so solid in this late game. But dude, he does have these 2 bases in the bottom left. Kelliger is getting kind of beastly.
He is. He's macroing really, really well. He's got more workers than TY after that drop. He has a ton of command centers on the way. We'll see where he can go with this. And let's not forget, he's stayed ahead on upgrades for a long time. He's got 3-3 right now against +3 armor just starting for TY.
Okay, Kelliger is still in control in the middle of the map. We have some Marines dropping over in this location. It's just been TY defending the whole time, but I think TY eventually is going to have to bite back.
Yeah.
By the way, I gotta say, I've never seen Kelliger kill it so hard with macro.
Oh, he is.
He's a complete beast.
Dude, seriously, he has been one of the most dedicated players amongst the World All-Stars.
Absolutely.
Living in Korea for quite some time now. Continually coming back here, practicing all the time. And I hear it from the other guys in the house. Kelliger is a beast in practice. He just keeps going and going. I watch Korean streams. They keep hitting Kelliger, man. He's on that ladder day and night.
It's crazy. We have Marines coming down here now.
Oh, there's still a Reaper. Look at that.
That Reaper is...
He's got some tails
There's
to tell.
If Kelliger wins this, there's going to be statues of that Reaper all over whatever planet HQ Kelliger has.
All over the Korpulu sector.
That's
tasteless.
right. The Kelazulu sector. Ooh. I mean, you know, even though TY's defended everything, you know, Kelliger's doing his part of the deal is that he's continuing to expand more than TY. We don't have TY out of this quadrant of the map just yet.
And TY continues to kind of be boxed in. And if that continues and Kelliger is like mining out huge amounts of the map, then TY can be cost efficient against Kelliger, and Kelliger can still possibly win the game.
Right.
Because that's where we see TY at. He's like, every time Kelliger attacks in, he's losing a little bit more than he's dealing for damage. But with all these bases, it's fine.
A scan here. Uh-oh, Kelliger's going for it. He better not go into that many siege tanks, so he's actually going to go around. He might see an opening over here in the bottom center. Can Kelliger do it? He's coming in, southbound, towards the base. The tanks are being taken out. Can he gun down the CC in time?
And he does! A huge move from Kelliger, taking out a ton of SCVs at the same time. TY with a counter drop here, but the Planetary going to clean it up in moments.
Kelliger is possibly going to lose his position over here in just outside of where his opponent's base is. In fact, if he tries to unsiege, I think that then TY stims and goes for it. Kelliger maxed out. TY at 160.
Look at these Liberators of TY, though. So patient. So hard to actually deal with a player who is capable of taking it slow like this. He's lost that 4th base twice now, but just continues to push out efficiently.
Kelliger slowly backing out. TY hungry to try to reclaim that bottom center or the center right, but he needs to get something to do it fast. Here we go. TY's moving out. Decides at the last second to try to back up as the siege tanks were in siege mode at just the right time. Can Kelliger not lose these tanks? It seems like he's having a hard time with that tank liberator scuffle.
You're right, but this army of TY is a bit immobile, so the further he gets in the center of the map, the more counterattack potential there is for Kelliger. Eventually, he can just stim and run into another base, but TY now making a very strong move towards the bottom left.
Okay, he's stimming, coming here from behind. The scan reveals his position, so he might actually go for a base trade. Already, this could be insane.
Oh my god, the siege tanks for TY being pulled back just in the nick of time here. A huge clump of Marines stimming and running uphill against siege tanks and Marines. It does not work. Kelliger has to pull back, but he's taking down the 3rd base at the same time.
TY has to ditch that base back over there. Too much pressure on him at this point in time. TY barely hanging on economically. In fact, TY's going to go for the heart.
Oh my god,
I actually thought he was going to go back, but no. I mean, this means that certainly TY will lose everything that he has before Kelliher can lose his, but of course, TY also has a very scary army with a huge amount of tanks.
You're right. If he gets on top of these production facilities, that might be his one way that he really can just take this game and shut down Kelliher. No matter how much money you're mining, if you don't have buildings, it doesn't matter. You can't spend it.
Okay, he's coming in here now. 2 tanks on the high ground. 2 tanks not going to be enough against, I believe, the 15 that we have possibly in this army over here for his opponent.
Oh boy, look at that air army right now for TY, allowing him to push in absolutely everywhere. Kelliher's main base really under siege. He's got to get some barracks out on the map. He has a huge amount of minerals. TY, on the other hand, not even mining.
TY with 1 base hidden in the upper right, but TY also with a much more decisive play. Going to go for all these production facilities.
He's getting right up there, stimming, pushing forward. The Siege Tank's going to slow him down. Defensive Liberators in the back, but that means his progress is slowed in that main base. This is just a moment where Kelliher can kind of whittle TY down. If TY doesn't move quickly enough, then Kelliher can rebuild everything in the bottom and run him over time.
As you can see here, TY's army is still absolutely terrifying, though. That many tanks and Liberators. If you misstep, you're going to lose everything that you have. We see mass factory being made. It's all factories over there, right?
It looked like it was mostly factories, maybe a couple barracks.
Okay, being made there in the lower center part of the map as Kelliher scrambles to re-get his production up here. Kelliher at 2K, TY at 0 with no income.
Yeah, he's literally not mining anything. He has 760 gas, not so useful. Bunch of Marines coming in. He's trying to whittle out.
I don't know about this.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! The supplies are almost even. I'm looking at Stefano, and he does not look good right now.
A crazy move right there by Kelliher. His Marines just falling quicker than I think I have ever seen.
There was no need to do that.
Oh man, he was not going to be able to break through there. He needs to get more units out, and he is producing. Let's not forget this. He's rebuilt a lot in the bottom of the map.
But now TY's mining again. Oh no, he's not. Oh no, he's mining from the upper right. That's where some of that money's coming from.
Yeah.
He should have waited. He should have been more patient. Every time Terran has to set up siege tanks and Liberators, you can run away again. He's got enough on the map to continue to escape over and over and over. Instead, Kelliher, I think in a bit of an undisciplined fashion, just went for it.
Well, this is a crazy game right now where I think he feels like he should be the victor, but he's still got to break this army.
Okay, we're still waiting. I'm not clear on how much of an army really Kelliher has. If you look at the supplies right now, they're pretty even, except that TY has 4 workers. Kelliher has 42, which means he certainly should not have enough to recover here.
Yeah. But TY's push continues to be strong. Some siege tanks being added in. But, oh God, this is his production area right now. Most of his buildings are right there in the center, and now some of them are under attack.
TY coming through here, taking out these factories. Very important that Kelliher keeps these alive. Every unit for TY is so important. And no! Yes!
Oh, a very important pickoff. Only 1 Liberator left, which means pushing back these siege tanks will not be so easy ever again.
We see this position up here. Oh my gosh, TY still not able to do anything. Kelliher barely mining right now. TY playing the game of his life, but is it going to be enough? Scan here.
Dude, I think Kelliher is going to be able to take this.
I think you're right. I think I doubted him too much for a second when he just tried to wipe out everything in the main.
Well, he lost like 400 Marines for like damaging a Liberator or something. It was kind of crazy. There were so many tanks up there.
If there was some way that Kelliher could take out the medevacs here for TY, he'd probably win the game automatically.
Yeah.
No way to drop and relocate.
Well, Kelliher is relocating right now some of his units, seeing what he can get done. Let's not forget, TY's been mining a little bit from that hidden upper right base. So, does have some siege tanks and Marines at home still that he can reinforce with eventually.
Very true. Okay, Kelliher comes in once again.
That's a great kill.
Yeah. Nothing here for TY now. But TY's not done yet. He's going to try to edge in and shoot down some of these tanks.
TY is trying to win this game on the back of 1 Liberator poking siege tanks right now.
Well, Kelliher may be too preoccupied. Each time these Liberators get at least 1 shot off on the tanks.
But Kelliher, he still has a much bigger income, a huge income. In fact, look at the map. This is Refugee Terran we're watching right now, man.
That's
He's
right.
got command centers absolutely everywhere, being chased out of his parts of the map and having to expand elsewhere.
TY's basically just got his main and this one outpost expansion. TY also starting to hit Kelliger in the bottom left with those Vikings landing. If Kelliger could just get the right angle to stem, he could go up there and kill the tanks. There's not a lot of Marines here for TY.
Dude, TY right now, he is playing Rambo inside of the StarCraft 2 engine. All of his units so far behind enemy lines, surrounded by Kelliger, but still making headway.
Okay, Kelliger loses 1 CC. TY still with many more he's going to have to destroy before he can come out as a victor here.
Yeah, this is still a very uphill climb, even though we see TY making huge moves and doing a great job. Kelliger has a ton of siege tanks, a ton of Marines on the map, and just TY, like...
hold up. Okay, I was going to say, if he could actually manage to get those, looks like they're going to head up to the top here instead.
Jeez. The forever supply block is what TY is going for here. The amount of supply depots
he's going to do it, Artie. He's going for it. I don't know if he should, though.
Oh, God. This is going to be bloody no matter what. Eventually, you got to go, right?
I mean, Kelliger is at 155 supply now, so... Oh, this small
Can he
army.
trap this?
I'm not sure that he can, Artie. Oh, hold up. He's going to get it when they're sieging up. Oh, Kelliger is just so cautious this game.
You know, the one thing he's not being cautious about, though, Tasteless, is scouting that base.
I know. I mean, if TY's in this game, you have to assume... Wait, he does know about that, doesn't he?
No, TY knows about Kelliger's base.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh, you're right. No, I'm sorry. Kelliger does not know about TY's. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, my God. Even floating his command center to the base above. TY still with a chance. A siege tank in a dream.
The thing is that Kelliger also realizes, you know, I mean, TY also realizes, okay, if I have enough money, I actually have a slightly bigger army now.
The SCV's
Brutal.
got it.
I bet Kelliger might be a little bit panicked right now. If TY can get up to that base and hold it, this game's going to go on for a while.
Look at this single Cyclone that keeps locking on these Liberators. I absolutely love the ad of that right now. Just poking them, getting a little bit of damage. Uh-oh, TY really in trouble at this point.
That's the non-Korean fans going wild here. There is still a shot. Okay, he's getting the CC2. This could just burn down. Eliminating any of TY's options of having a stabilized economy. Oh! Huge plays.
Oh my
Nicely
God,
done.
down it goes. Are there any command centers left?
No.
He has no command centers left, so he's actually going to be revealed very shortly here. The last push of TY. He's got nothing left. Tasteless only 25 minerals.
Okay, here we go. Getting the Liberators. He gets that last one. It's going to be up to the siege tanks to try to push out here.
I think at this point, TY's looking for a draw.
Yeah, might as well. And if there's anybody that can do it, it would be TY.
He could somehow get all the command centers. Kelliger, but little does he know. How many Kelliger command centers are left? He's made so many this game.
By the way, it is still TY with a slightly better army. He's got the Vikings here he can spot with. He's actually, you know, keep in mind some of the supply is made up of workers, which Kelliger has more of. The SCVs for TY are basically paperweights.
Yeah, Kelliger still has more units, but it's mostly these Marines that we see are having kind of a hard time. Has to be careful still. If he is to lose this game, what a comeback from TY.
Okay, again, the Vikings just poking out here. The Vikings giving that vision advantage, excuse me.
Look at this, the mass building migration coming up to join the army. You may as well have them nearby. Everything revealed.
Oh, it's a nail-biter over here for the non-Korean players. Team World, as they know, Kelliger has to win this, or their only chance is to get a draw until we go to the tiebreaker match.
And TY continuing to push. Look at this. He's just whittling Marines down. Kelliger not making powerful moves. It seems like he's afraid. Look, there's like 5 siege tanks alone, no air cover. There's one siege tank keeping his entire army back here.
I think that Kelliger has freaked himself out, Artosis.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think he's like, oh my God, I'm going to beat TY and everybody's relying on me, but I can't actually do it. He doesn't have any money and somehow I can't stop him. This is
my
like,
God.
oh no!
Look at TY, bring up the sea shanks! Oh, this is so crazy right now.
TY is doing the impossible. Kelliher, he just has to get through this game. He just has to get through this game. He just has to stop that army. That's the only thing he can do. The rest of the world is relying on Kelliher. I don't know if he can do it, Artosis.
TY pushing forward, only a few Marines left over. Those siege shanks are going to be unbelievably hard to break. 8 siege shanks against 7, but only 5
Oh,
Marines
here we go.
left.
He can step. He can go for it. He did it. GG. It's yes.
Done. Kelliher knocking out TY. Up is down, left is right, and Kelliher beats one of the finalists for the whole tournament.
Artosis, I believe by the transitive properties, Kelliher is now the champion of GSL versus the world.
That's right. That's how it works.
He actually just won it all.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow, that was such an insane game.
That was crazy.
I'm incredibly happy for Kelliher. I'm really happy for the World All-Stars as well, but damn, you gotta give an insane amount of kudos there to TY, because if that's what it takes to beat that guy in the TVT, unreal. Like, I have goosebumps. That was so good. I really want to see like the numbers of that game, units lost, because I feel that Kelliher mined like 3 times as much.
Yeah.
TY is a machine. Congrats to Kelliher, but
in a weird way, it makes me more hyped for the finals and a little bit worried for innovation. I was like,
yeah.
Because TY was way behind. It was really bad. And then he was like, hold my beer. And he just went out there and started doing stuff.
That's
not how you
exactly
use that
it.
meme.
That is exactly what it was like, too. He was like, okay, it's time to turn this on. This guy was rubbing together 2 pennies to make a nickel, man. That was crazy.
And you guys cast incredibly well, by the way. It goes without saying, you know.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for giving us the chance, guys. I mean, you too.
Shucks. I wanted to give it to you. I felt like you guys earned it. You know, it's
look, give him a go. See
here
what
in this here in this best of 8. I want to let's give Taste. Let's open the closet, pull out Tastosis, and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I believe it will be going back to you guys pretty soon here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love your duo as well. I mean, we have Pinky and the Brain here. I'm not sure what to call you, but you know,
Pinky and the Brain in one. You just butchered your own saying.
Yeah. Well, he's wearing a pink shirt and he's got the brains, right? So like,
listen, Mustard Man, you tone it down, okay?
I gotta say, I am so blown away by how long TY was not mining and still managed to pull it off. We're gonna go to a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on with the GSL versus the world.
StarCraft 2 has seen some exciting action both in-game and in the WCS Pro scene. But today, we want to walk you through a new initiative that will tie these 2 experiences together like never before. Introducing the StarCraft 2 War Chest. War Chest is an exciting new way to engage with StarCraft 2 that will give you early access to in-game items for all 3 races at a remarkably low cost, while simultaneously supporting the StarCraft 2 esports scene. The rewards include dozens of items like skins, decals, sprays, portraits, and emoticons. Here's how it works. War Chest is divided into 3 progression paths, 1 for each race. You can purchase access to each path separately or as a bundle. It's completely up to you. Regardless of your choice, owning a war chest immediately grants you rewards in StarCraft 2 and across other Blizzard titles. Next, simply playing games in StarCraft 2, both multiplayer and co-op, will grant experience to unlock more rewards inside each war chest phase. Over the next 3 months, additional phases will open up, heralded by new issues of StarCraft 2 Shadow Wars, a comic covering the years after the Nova Covert Ops storyline. Each phase will allow you to continue to progress your war chest and unlock additional rewards until the event concludes with the StarCraft 2 World Championships at BlizzCon. 25% of all War Chest purchases go directly to StarCraft 2 esports. The first $200,000 will be added to the $500,000 BlizzCon 2017 prize pool. And any additional contributions beyond that will be invested into operational support for the 2017-2018 seasons. Experience gained for your War Chest is mirrored across all races, whether you've chosen to unlock them or not. Should you choose to focus on a single race out of the gate and change your mind later to unlock the rest, you will immediately gain retroactive access to the rewards relevant to your progress. There's a lot more to say about War Chest, and you may have additional questions, so don't hesitate to check out the blog over on the StarCraft 2 website for more details, or reach out to us with your questions on social media. We couldn't be more excited about what the War Chest is bringing to StarCraft 2, but let us know what you think and which unlock path you've got your eye on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in game.
Supply depots insufficient. Overlords superior.
Need creep for that. Man, how does Sarah do it?
Your detestable Zerg have evolved.
Nuclear missile ready. That takes me back.
I would warp in more pylons if I were you.
Mutation complete. Man, I wish I hadn't seen that.
You have to place that thing on creep.
You're engaging the opponent. Time to raise your APM.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
Nuclear missile ready.
We're back at the GSL versus the world. There is hope.
The dream is alive.
His name is Kalazer.
The god of all StarCraft players outside of Korea has smiled upon us today. But is he still a merciful god? Will we have another win? Kalazer actually, in all seriousness, in an upset, actually beats TY.
Yeah.
He did not manage to do so in his match against Hero.
I think we were all looking at these first 4 games and we were like, well, the first one is possible, the next 2 have to be wins for the world, and then Kalazer probably doesn't have a shot. Well, we were all wrong. The first 3.
It's the opposite.
Yeah. But well, I mean, the dream is still alive, sort of, right now.
Our predictions are a mirror, just like the matches.
Nice. Wow. Nicely done. Yeah. Up next is Beyond vs. Special. Guys, give Special your energy. He's going to need your powers.
I like this.
We're making a spirit bomb.
Special says his best matchup is TVT.
Yeah.
We saw Beyond look very mortal against Innovation. I believe it. It can happen.
I totally believe it. Special has, I think, a better style of TVT overall than Beyond.
Okay.
Like, Beyond is a superhuman. Of course, he can always beat anybody. But just looking at the match of the way they play, I like Special for this match.
And how funny would it be if it's actually the foreign Terrans carrying us in a World All-Star match? The one thing that we've never really praised, we always talked about the foreign Protoss and the foreign Zergs. Would be very cool if it's actually the Terrans that will deliver here.
That would be nice.
But it's going to be very hard, I think.
We might be ushering in a new era here. It's time for the foreign Terrans.
That last game, though, like I still cannot believe how well TY was playing while being so far behind. That is like the most impressive loss I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, like that is an insane performance.
He got inside of Kelleger's head eventually. There was like one siege tank. You what? No. There was like one siege tank holding off like 30 Marines at the end. Kelleger's like, I can't do this!
I think some of that was definitely psychological. Kelser was like, oh my god, I've got him, and if I mess up, it's all over.
Yeah, the funny thing is, multiple times he was really far ahead, and then he made moves and made it closer, and then once it got sort of close, that's when he made great moves again.
Yeah.
So he got much further ahead, and then it got close again. I was losing it. It was insane game, but also insane performance by TY, but a great victory for Kalazur.
Is
That's some money as
TY
well.
more reminiscent of Bean or Ender for you, Dan?
Bean or Ender?
Artos is actually a huge Bean fan, by the way.
I am a huge Bean fan.
Are we talking about the food?
You guys haven't read Ender's Game. It's so weird being around these guys
I'm so sorry,
that don't
Dan.
read good books. But
Oh my God.
Bean, man, he's so smart.
Yeah, he's more of a
He's
Bean
so
for you.
smart, yeah.
I can see that.
Kelleger's Ender. Did you see what he just did there?
Yeah.
For real. Can I have a hell yeah, Roddy and Nick?
Hell yeah.
All right.
We're almost ready to get this match going. It's going to be on Abyssal Reef. Anything you think Special needs to watch out for specifically on this?
His opponent.
You guys are hilarious, by the way.
We've had a
I
couple
love
of-
that not only did you do that and talk about something we don't know, but you're on opposite sides of us. So
How do you not know Ender's
We're literally
Game?
I
stuck
saw
in
the
the middle.
movie. I saw the movie, but it wasn't that great or memorable.
No, the movie was not that great. You're right about that. But
Nick's like, can we talk about Battletoads real quick, please? Okay? Is he the red toad
I like
or the, green
purple
one?
toad.
Yeah.
Like, there's no purple
There's
toad.
no
Better
purple
with a
toad.
bow staff?
Yeah.
Never
Oh.
knew that talking about StarCraft on a StarCraft cast was this hard. But when I have you guys
Welcome
around
to
me,
Korea, buddy.
This is how we do.
it's like, you know, you want to talk about liberation. It's like Battletoads, end this game. Can I get a hell yeah? It's like I want to say.
I do want to say for the people watching, I submit that we are caster team Easter morning, by the way, based off of the color of our shirts.
Yeah.
I put it out there to the Twitch chat, of course. I want to hear what they think.
I'm sure there'll be some sort of coffee pasta coming up soon. But coming up next, Special versus Beyond. What do you guys think? Who thinks that Special's taking it? Raise your hand.
Man, we were pretty sure Neeb. We
I
were
love
pretty
us.
sure Neeb was going to take his match.
Yeah.
That did not pan out super well.
Yeah, I was very confident in Neeb, and I also thought Showtime had a good shot. And it's not like those games were one-sided. It's not like they were ugly. Especially, I think Neeb's game was very, very, very close.
Yeah.
I think Special's got a good shot there, but I mean, you know, if you put a gun to my head, I'd always pick Beyond. But, you know, maybe a 60-40.
Yeah, I think Special has a really good shot. Obviously, I think it's 60-40, 50-50, something like that. It's just I'm starting to learn. I think I'm being re-educated again on just assuming the Koreans are pretty freaking good at StarCraft. Like
They are.
we're like
Yeah.
best of ones. These non-Koreans almost won those other series, and then we go into it. They're laughing. They're having a good time. Like TY got upset, but the other matches were pretty brutal actually.
They
So
were pretty savage.
if Special can win here, that does tie it up. No, it doesn't tie it up. Excuse me. No. No.
2-3, but then,
2-3.
then the dream
It
is
makes
very
it more realistic.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm saying Special. For you guys that couldn't see because the camera wasn't on us, I raised my hand.
Yes, just you.
Yeah, nobody else
You're like,
did.
raise your hand if you believe in Special, and then it's just Tosis. It's like-
Yeah.
He got you guys to say hell yeah earlier, so I think he assumed he could keep doing it.
Yeah. Just
Can I get a
Ready?
jump?
Special's gonna win. Can I have an amen? All right.
All right, guys, our game's loaded up. Special, good luck. We are Team Worldcasters. We want the non-creams to win, but Special has to take us there. This is going to be casted by In Control and Ronnie, guys. Have fun. Good luck.
Have fun talking about StarCraft.
Thank you, guys.
A bit embarrassing. Do you think they know they're actually the GSL casters and you're the world casters?
I don't think they know.
They didn't know that?
No. It's
All right.
supposed to be divided, but that's just
I guess we'll tell them after.
Yeah. yeah. So at least I can be happy about winning something.
I'm gonna save Nick's caster life here. In the top left-hand side, representing Team Korea in the GSL ALLstars, it's the world champion and the handsomest stash in the game.
Team expert, Bjorn.
Bjorn seemed to be in really good spirits over the last few days in the studio. Every single time he was smiling, hanging out with his fans as well. He seems to have very dedicated fans.
Yes.
It's good to see Bjorn that happy. In the right bottom side, representing the World ALLstars from Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Special.
You put that little accent on there.
For Juanito, I go all the way.
Some handsome banners out there, ladies and gents. I don't know if I've ever seen a Juanito this handsome.
So Abyssal Reap is going to be our map, Jeff. I think this is obviously a map that Special likes a lot. We know that he's in general a pretty standard, straightforward player. And this is as straightforward as it gets these days. Everybody loves Abyssal. Obviously, we've seen a couple of great TVTs over the last, I would say, 5, 6, 7 months on this map. Most notable, I guess, Lifer's innovation of Katowice. That was an unreal game. But I think there is potential here. It's just I think it's very important that Special plays his own game here. And by that, I mean, you know, don't get too carried away in trying to like out-multitask Beyond. Don't try to get like the 3-4 fights at once. Just get the defensive solid setups going. You know, when you move out, make sure it's safe. Make sure you don't get caught off guard. Then I truly believe that his TVT is good enough.
Yeah, it's a bit of a clash of fairly similar styles in that they are like aggression-first kind of Terrans. So that makes for really fun games for us to watch and commentate, but it makes for dangerous games in terms of results for them. I can see Special getting to a great spot, and then, like you said, maybe not checking all the corners, not scanning, not having a sensor tower up, and then a Doom drop on the production line, and he can't dislodge, and he loses with a 30 supply advantage. That kind of stuff can happen with these two.
If you guys just joined us, we had a couple of awesome pre-game interviews before this all started, as Sojong and Park asked Special if he was going to win, and he said, of course I'm going to win. I'm good friends with TY, and TY gives me all his builds, and TY is way better than Beyond. And Beyond's like, what? No, nobody's better than me. Well, other than Innovation. Innovation is better, but he's the only one, as we do have the first Reaper skirmish. This is kind of awkward, by the way, Jeff, because now the Reaper from Special is being pushed away of his own natural.
Yeah. This Reaper gets to come in here and do a wield, so slight advantage for Beyond.
It's actually a pretty decent one already. Now, not only the SCV kill, but look at that command center. Everything is supposed to be tight, everything is supposed to be connected. Ooh. The Reaper of Special is going to take quite a bit of damage, but it does live. But look at this CC, Jeff. That is actually a lot of damage.
Ends up being a big deal here. Kind of an interesting choice from Special to be like, okay, I'm displaced. I guess I'll just go all the way over to this map. I think he was looking to do something similar, I suppose, and get a return fire, but I would have liked to have just come home and team up with something like a SCV or whatever, and maybe kill the Reaper.
It's getting quite ugly as the Hellion dies as well. The Cyclone from John is already going to show up here. Will this CC ever finish up? No, it will not.
What is that?
It's just the wrapping paper. That's what it is.
1 second, maybe?
It could be actually like a full, but then,
holy cow. And it actually could die. The Cyclone has such high DPS that he needs to get his butt out there.
He needs to get everything here. Well, with 4 Marines, I guess it's going to be all right. The Reapers are going to be a little bit annoying here. A couple of these Marines do take a lot of damage. Good micro there, though, by Special as he gets the Reaper.
Oh, this is good, though. A full scout sees the tech on the starport.
And he got 2 SCV kills with that Reaper, apparently.
Not bad.
That is very nice. The CC is burning. That's never a good sign. Let's hope he does notice in time.
Tech Lab. I literally forgot. You were on your own there for 5 seconds. I did search my library of a brain. Nice. Scouts out, sees everything. And there is actually, it's worth noting, Beyond CC is way late as well, because that's the opening. So as long as he deflects the Banshee.
Can he please, like, continue repairing this? I guess
it's not burning, bruh.
It's burning down.
No.
Look at the HP, Jeff.
That's fair. You don't even count it, you know?
Scan goes down. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get the Banshee. That would be massive. One more shot.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
And he was chasing it, too, so it's going to hurt even worse.
Oh, my God. Now the SCV's are in quite a bit of trouble. This Cyclone goes down as well. And for Special, this game is just kind of a disaster, Jeff. Everything is going well for Beyond and
he's
nothing.
Dead. I mean,
yeah. Nothing is going
He's
Special's
getting closer.
way.
He's going to bring the SCVs. The wound is going to get even further here. And he's just trying to buy time. If you look at the production tab, he's got a Raven, but it's nowhere near coming out. Another Cyclone. He might just die here.
He's running awfully low.
It's not even just the CC. He might literally just lose to this army.
Yeah, it's 18 army supply against 10. One more Cyclone does show up. The micro is going to have to be fantastic for Special. He throws out a Mana Mule. That's what you get for saying TY is better than me, Jeff.
Dion's a bit of a performer, that one. He comes back into the view, but it doesn't even matter. Wow. So much damage. This poor CC, by the time it finished, it was already set on fire. It's just not had a good day. And it eventually does get cleaned up as the Banshee's going to land the Viking. That two's going to die almost immediately.
That's all he wrote.
Wow.
GG. Jan with the flawless victory here, pretty much. Obviously, end up losing a couple units here and there, but he's like, who do you say is better than me? Whose builds you have?
Yeah.
Should take my builds, nerd.
He had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he just he put the coals. He put the coals to Special. That was a bit of a brawl, a bit of a mauling.
You know, it all starts with that very first Reaper, Jeff, because the Reaper of Beyond makes his way into, you know, the natural, where the Reaper of Major or Special is being pushed away.
Yeah.
At that point, you have that awkward scenario where Major's like, you know, it's going to be all right. I'll send my Reaper to the other side of the map. Then another Reaper shows up, then he loses the Hellion, and it's just a snowball effect. It starts with an SCV, then it's a Hellion, then it's a Cyclone. John is
Kevin, you missed it. Guys, get out your whatever it's called when you record clips. You clip that scene right there. It's one of the worst handshakes I've ever seen in my life.
Between who?
I think it was him and Dark. Okay. He like went for the slap, they missed, they went back to go to Dark, and Dark was like smiling. He was like, nah, it's too late. It was amazing. I've been there in NASL.
So GSL All-Stars take a 4-1 lead in this show match. Next up is going to be Ayasonu for Team World All-Stars, as Ayasonu is going to go up against Su.
All right, so it's 5-1 for the All-Stars here.
No, 4-1.
Oh no, after Ayasonu loses.
Yeah. Ayasonu had a great run at the Intux 3 Masters in Shanghai.
Did he beat any Zergs?
No. But he did beat...
Su looked good in ZVZ.
Yeah, I know he did.
He looked really on fire.
He made Dark look kind of powerless in that quarterfinals.
He kind of did there. That's why. I'm not really hating on Ayasonu. I'm just saying losing to Su in this matchup on this stage in a best-of-1 is pretty believable for me.
Odyssey is a map that we saw Su perform on already as well, and he looked solid on it.
Look at Coach Stefano, though. He's got that piece of paper. He's going over to him. He's coaching him up. He's really working.
He's taking it quite serious. Nesty on the other end.
Every shot of Nesty looks like he's falling further and further asleep. He's like...
Nesty's like, why am I here again? Like, they were going to win Widow without me, guys. Like, that was really not necessary for you guys to bring me here, but
I don't even know these guys.
I've got a good spot.
By the time they were playing, I was already a GSL champion.
Was there anybody? I guess Beyond was already playing when Nesty was winning.
But even then, he was not what he is now.
No, of course not. But he was around.
Yeah.
Hero came up a little bit later, obviously. Stats as well.
I'm trying to think. I don't think any of them really, right?
No.
Maybe Dark. Dark's been around for a while. Dark.
Yeah, he's been in GSL for 10 seasons in a row, but Nesty was there like 19 seasons ago. So
yeah.
I think that Dark actually has an ST award. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's awesome. So that does bring us to this one. Well, so here's the thing. We expected Special to have a chance. He lost. We expected Neve to have a chance. He lost. Yeah. Showtime to have a chance. He lost. Kalzer, no chance. Wins.
Yep.
Is it Ayasanu's chance to just be like, hey, no one believes in me. I'm going to win this one too?
This could very well be one of those days where nothing that we know makes sense, Jeff, and we just keep getting surprised over and over again.
There's someone in the Twitch chat just like, come on.
Was so obvious Kalazur was going to be TY,
guys. Of course
Kalazur
was going to win.
Yes.
It's in the illegal act.
Have you guys seen his Stevie?
Do you not know the stats?
God, that game over TY was sick though. But hopefully Ayasonu can get another point on the board for the World All-Stars, as Jeff thinks is starting to look a little grim. It's 4-1, and we all still dream of that tiebreaker, but that would mean that the World All-Stars have to win the next 3 games in a row. Now, even if it ends here, that doesn't mean that we won't be playing the additional games. We will. And I think it's worth mentioning there's also $800 on the line for every single best-of-1. So Kalazur just picked up $800, which obviously is awesome for him.
Not bad, man. Not bad at all.
And so did the Koreans.
Well, here we go. The guy that doesn't know what it's like to not be. Oh, I see. Okay. I was looking at the wrong monitor. Great stage here. Great production. There's the coach. Can he put them together? Get them to do something. Meanwhile, Nesty is like, when does this end? You go home. Well, here we are on the top left-hand side. Your second place GSL finisher basically forever. It is.
Park is kind of leaving you.
My introduction's way better than Park, by the way. Way better. All right, you know what? Let me do the next one. Let me do the next one. Me and Park will go out of here.
Okay. Okay.
We can get the microphone. Defeating 2 GSL champions at an IM Chinese competition. One of the absolute best Chinese players to ever walk this earth. It is
Invictus Gaming, Isonu.
I'll let you be the judge, Kevin. What do you got, Park?
I think one apiece. I think you guys
All right,
need to sell it.
that.
You guys need to sell it and decide it later on today.
For both winners. I like it too because it's like mega hyped and they show Ayasani and he's over there like, oh shit, StarCraft. Sorry, just falling asleep.
All right, that was awesome, Jeff. Well done.
Thank you.
So ZVZ on Odyssey is what we're looking at. As who is Overlord? Is this Spark there? Maybe he's worried about some sort of early pool shenanigans coming out of Ayasonu, but that is not the case. Ayasonu is a very fun guy, by the way, whenever you talk with him. He's
Good
got
English.
great
Did not
English.
expect that.
Oh, almost flawless. You can
He's
talk
a
with
nice,
him.
funny guy, yeah.
When I met him at the Indux 3 Masters China and he advanced, I was like, so, TY in the quarterfinals? I was like, easy? He looked at me, he's like, easy. He's like, are you crazy? Of course it's not easy. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, mate. And today I asked him about the ZVZ and he's like, best of one. He's like, maybe it's possible. Or maybe not, but let's see how he does.
That's what I like about this, though. This kind of, to be fully honest, going into this, I was like, it doesn't hype me up that much. These kind of show matches, whatever, for whatever reason. But seeing their personality, seeing them on stage, give them another chance to show, you know, it was kind of cool for Hero to win that match because he did have a really bad best of 5, and he is in good form. I like what Artos is talking about, and it's another shot to show it off. It's kind of cool.
Absolutely. And on big stage as well. Now, Hero looked incredibly good in his game against Neves. That was a fun game as well.
It really was.
A couple of close moments with prisms and stuff, but
even the main fight, like, was deceiving because he kills all the interceptors.
Yeah.
He starts winning the ground battle, but then you realize Archons can't kill carriers very well.
They can't really get in rage. Those T-Rex arms, Jeff, they just don't cut it.
You need the other Templar to like stand at the edge of his arms or something like that. I don't know. Maybe in StarCraft 3 they'll get like Gorilla Archons.
Well, you can get 2 Archons on top of each other.
Yeah.
And then it has a range 5 air
quad
attack.
con.
The quad con.
Or some more fancy word for 4, I don't know. But we're having a bit of a standard opening here. There's been a lot of cheese in the ZVZ, by the way, in the last few days as well. We've seen a lot of early pools.
When you have
Dark, if you missed the beginning of him versus Nurchio, it was already 0-2. Like, if you were like, I'm going to get up and get some nachos, you come back and you're like, whoa! But then Nurchio played like one of the best CVZs we've had so far.
I'm really hyped for actually Dark versus Scarlet because what Scarlet said is accurate. Dark has never lost an offline match against a foreigner. He's also currently on like a 34 or 35 win streak against non-Koreans.
Yeah.
This is only a best of 1, Jeff. If it's ever going to happen, maybe this is the one.
It counts.
And Scarlet does have really good CVZ. I feel like Scarlet's been getting a little bit unlucky lately in like major tournaments. Valencia, very close series against Elezu, ended up winning the entire thing. And obviously here playing TY in the quarterfinals wasn't great. Su has an excellent start here with some really good micro.
He threw a single Zergling at the Baneling, and he like sacrificed Ayasani, who of course miscontrolled that, but that was amazing.
Queen is in a little bit of trouble as well. That's a lot of links on the north side of this Queen. Both Queens have been picked off already. Sul so far having a ball. Ayasonu already in quite a bit of trouble as he's going to lose mining time. Where are those links, Chef? It's going to take forever. The drones are not mining right now, by the way. They're on follow.
It's just bad. He's lost both the Queens. You can already see it in the army supply. It's 20-10. It looks like eventually Ayasani will go ahead and quote-unquote clean this up. He's going to start teching beyond this. The one thing I do like for him, Kevin, is he's taking the gold base.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit of it's a risk, obviously, but if you're behind like this, you got to do something.
It's quite a few links in production for Su, who already has an army supply advantage. He's like, well, the first skirmish went really good.
Goodness.
I'm going to try it one more time. This time Ayasonu does save his Zerglings, but Jeff, this is still not going to be easy.
Yeah, and those Banelings just waddle in there. They're going to go towards the middle line. He splits as best he can. The connection, actually, well, it was going to be a whiff. The next one hit 4 there. Well, okay, he softened up with the first one, got him with the second.
Su ain't done yet, though. It's still a couple of Zerglings, defensive Banes left for Ayasonu, but if Su can get another...
Look at the army supply.
Yeah.
Hugely in favor of Su.
Yeah, he just made 10 roaches. They're obviously not here yet, but Su seems like he doesn't really want to waste any time over here. He's going to apply some more pressure with Zergling Bane and follow it up with a big roach attack. And Ayasonu is so busy defending Jeff that he has absolutely no idea that these roaches are coming.
Yeah. He's going to make some of his own roaches right there as well, so that's a good start. Obviously, he's behind in numbers, He'll have defender's advantage, but Kevin, I don't know if it's enough, man.
He needs to only make roaches. That is actually what he's
Wayne's
doing.
gonna go down
Good
again.
job. Good job by Sonu. A few more drones are going to be in a little bit of a pickle.
Well,
4 again.
if that's a pickle, it's like a Halloween-themed pickle. It's got blood on it and stuff. It's really bad. Here come the roaches, and this might just be the hammer blow.
Oh my god, the army supply of Sue is ridiculous.
This is a beatdown, by the way. Ayasano got mauled from beginning to end. Everything that came at him was doing really, really well. 30 supply advantage. Sue is here on top. More roaches coming out for Ayasano, but he's got to make the hold of his life.
Sue is dancing his units already. Why not? He is incredibly confident.
These Koreans, by the way, the Smack Talk, the games, they're getting into this.
We like these show matches. 800 apiece, right? Can we do this more often?
Yeah, they're like, come back, non-Koreans. Come back to Korea.
You guys are welcome. As Ayasano is going to try to defend, but there is no way that the Chinese
more
Zerg
dancing.
can stop this onslaught. Man, Sue is just merciless, Jeff.
GG, and Sue continues to show top form in this DBZ matchup.
That was brutal. There's no other way to put it. Can we talk about how Tastosis just had 2 amazing best of ones?
Absolutely.
And we got 2 5-minute games.
You know what, though? It ends up that I'm, again, excited for them to have the opportunity to show off what they can do. You know what I mean?
Give us a shot, guys.
You guys
Give us a chance
Put me in,
to show you what we
coach.
got.
Put them in.
Guys, that
You guys,
was...
after that intro and control, I know you're tired, so.
I got more.
Yeah?
It invigorated me. I like, when I was doing it and the veins were popping in my throat, I saw Park in my head. I became like English Park. English Park, yeah.
This is the official end, by the way, to some degree, of the actual competition of this show match.
Yeah. Look at Nesty.
Yeah, we'll still be playing, but obviously the show match has already been won right now.
He's jet lagged from like a cab ride.
By the GSL ALLstars.
I gotta say, man, I'm hoping that our other non-Korean players can give us something, kind of an odd date, some of the ones we thought players might have a chance of winning.
Throw us a bone here,
they got
fellas.
Slammed, and then it's actually Kulazur who's the one who comes out on top against TY.
I hate to be the apologist, but it's been like, there have been good games at least. If they were all this kind of mauling, it would be like a joke. We'd be like laughing, but it's been pretty good.
There's definitely some good ones in there for sure.
The first 4, I think, were very good. Obviously, the last 2 were kind of one-sided, and that's mildly put. But the next 2 games, I think, are actually going to be very good. I think Scarlet should be able to put up a very good fight with Dark, and Zero Innovation, come on, that's awesome.
I like how we're like, Scarlet should be able to give a fight against that guy that's never lost to a non-Korean ever.
It's going to happen one day, Jeff.
I hope it's not as short as the game you just casted.
It's going to happen one day.
Look, Scarlet's still very good, and I think she's not going to be phased very much by, in some ways, the pressure's almost off.
Let's try this. Let's invoke Karma the other way, because so far we've been like, they got a chance. Let's be like, no chance at all.
Yeah, maybe
Scarlet's
we should just do that.
Dead.
Maybe we should be like,
let's not even
it's
play.
Basically,
let's just not even play it. Let's eat pizza and video.
It's basically over.
Easter Sunday morning podcast.
I
think they should just play co-op together instead. I mean, I think that, you know.
We should have a race where they both play the campaigns on Brutal and see who wins first.
New Commander is coming at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Maybe they can give us a sneak peek.
Maybe they can do that instead.
Can you guys tell us about the Tastosis Commander that's coming out?
It's a great commander.
Can't announce anything yet.
It's the weakest of all by far.
What is the ultimate, though?
Let's just say, community, we hear you, and we're on it.
Soon.
Nate having a chance to play as Tasteless would be his dream come true, actually.
Well, he plays it tasteless quite often, but...
All right.
This is fun.
Like, so that's all I had to do to get rid of him? Oh, my God.
Dude, I got to say...
What do you got to say,
What do you
buddy?
got to say?
We're waiting.
Give it to us.
This is going to be great. Hold on. No, he's...
Nick's conversational hook, so he's like, guys. And he's like,
you know what?
was I going to say? StarCraft. And he like stops, and he's like, timing of events, stops.
There's
How much longer do you
esports
think
is
this show
here.
match will go?
This is epic. Someone will be declared a champion.
Esports history is being
Esports
made.
history is being made. Soul's the mecca of esports.
This was marked
We
in your
love you
calendars. I
guys.
know you've been waiting
Mark it in
for
your
it.
calendars.
Where do I turn off the Nick
Get here
soundboard?
early.
Someone, the soundboard's broken. Where do you turn it off?
Someone spilled water on Tasteless. It can't work anymore.
All memes aside, I really think the next 2 games are going to be a lot better than what we just saw.
I heard in 2019 Apple's
How
going to
could
make
they
me
not
waterproof,
be?
so that will never happen again.
literally, like, the game starts, Scarlet falls out of the booth, is unconscious, and we have, like, a weird medical break.
And then we go to
That
the
would be
sterile
worse.
game, and somehow he's eaten by sharks in the booth. We don't even know how it could get worse than that.
That would be better,
They're
actually.
flopping around, too. It's like, well, a shark in the water, you get eaten, I get
They
it.
can't move on land, and he's like, whoa, but he slips on some of that shark water.
They-
Whoa, it's
they
got
like-
his mouse hand on there screaming like, I feel
They
you.
slow down the video, then they show him still trying to play with the shark attacking.
Yeah.
It's like, that dedication, that work ethic is what got him to the top of the European ladder, man. He's like, oh my God, it's dangerous.
You just got eaten by a shark. How do you feel?
It's nice.
Pretty bad. I'll never walk
Good
again.
segment, guys. I think the hardcore StarCraft fans really liked this segment. Really
We
crunched,
definitely-
really crunched the result there. Talked a lot about it.
We definitely touched all the bases, I think.
Yeah.
I've got nothing. With you guys, I've got
Can't
nothing.
believe some of this turned into Cyril being eaten by a shark, and then an
It's just
interview about it. Like what?
Our producer goes, the game's about ready, you guys. Oh, that's right. You guys are commentating now. Kevin and I did 7 minutes of commentary.
Yeah, it was glorious 7 minutes.
And now
to be
your
my friend.
7 minutes of fame is up. All right, guys, we're going to go into this. Predictions. In control and Roddy.
The Koreans continue to destroy the non.
How long will this game be?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Roddy.
16.
16 minutes.
Yeah.
16 You should have 7 minutes and 1 second. That's the real trick to winning this all the time.
No, but I want to look good, actually.
Okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
Dark is going to be really tough. Really tough for Scarlet to beat.
Can you give me, so we haven't gotten the GG yet, can you give me a park impression introduction? Show him the English casters can do it too.
I actually don't know what he says. What does he say when he starts it in Korean? I
have no idea because we're talking.
All right. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to see if I can sync it up with him. But it's going to be just me making up Korean sounds. I actually don't know what he does.
Guys, we're going to go watch the match. You guys have a great time.
Hold on. No, wait. I'm going to do it. You ready?
Please stay.
I want to be here for this. Okay.
All right.
I'm bracing my body. I'm ready for it.
It's still going to take a while, basically.
You have to wait until they show the...
No, you're right. It is going to take a while. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Talk
Everyone
about
wait.
yourselves.
I got this.
A lot of anticipation for it.
Dude, Scarlet can take out Dark. His
Yes.
CBC hasn't been that good.
And I feel that Scarlet has been a little unlucky in major tournaments lately. I actually think that she's a lot better than a lot of people give her credit for.
Yeah, her luck's
right now.
gotten great now facing Dark.
Well, if she wins,
Who
then
did you
it's
want her
fantastic.
against? What? That lineup's crazy.
Does anybody else think Kevin just says stuff? Like he's the new Tasteless?
All right, ready? Jesus! Asmida! It's my Castor Park impersonation. Let's get this game going!
You have to wait until they show the base, then you do it.
Whoa, look out.
Whoa,
Reach to the
Scarlet!
screen and grab this.
Dark don't care. You can watch. Look at Nest team.
Video. Okay. He's so-so.
At least he's not Suso.
That's right. In the bottom right, our Zerg player, 1 of 2. Definitely the favorite, but I'm rooting against him. He is.
Dark.
That's your park impression?
Yeah. Well, you want it in English.
That was
Everyone's
garbage.
like, wow, the Korean casters are just so much better than the English casters.
They
But if
are.
you knew what they were saying, it's like, nah, I mean, you know, you just don't understand.
In the upper left.
Team expert. Scarlet.
See, the thing that you don't know is that my Castor Park impression is just me being tasteless and casting in English.
All right, you guys, you're going to be great.
All right, we are ready. Thanks, guys. That was fun. Artie,
Yes.
we're back after those very short games.
Yeah. That was fast and furious. I was hoping for longer macro games out of those two last series, but such is life, Tasteless. We have good games left. We have 2 games here, and then, of course, a best-of-7 between TY and Innovation, which is going to be pretty crazy. And, of course, Dark. I mean, this is what Dark does, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the thing about both Dark and Sue is when you watch their games, it's so action-packed.
Yeah.
That, you know, I honestly, I don't know if this could go for long, but we'll see. The early games, EVZ is so mapped out by players like Sue and Dark that it's kind of scary. Now, granted, Scarlet's been able to practice against these guys and study them, but
yeah,
Dark already going with what we sort of know best.
Yeah, and
Quick links.
she has to be prepared for this because Dark does this a lot. Like,
Almost
this
every
is one
game.
of his big fallbacks in CVC. He loves to open very aggressively. Of course, he is very good at macro play, but like he loves to rush with Zerglings and Banelings.
Let's see if Scarlet's ready. Scarlet has some links of her own. Link speed will finish first, though, for Dark.
Yeah. She's making a spine here. I mean, that's really good. 2 queens on the way. Lings being made, not drones. Dude, I think control's wrong. I think Scarlet can do this. Let's see.
Here we go. The Lings are up. They will get a surround on the queen. Okay, that's a bad start.
Yeah.
Not looking good, buddy.
You really can't be letting that queen die. That was a really important unit there.
Okay, the Lings are coming down now. They are trying to get rid of this this hatchery here. It's going to be tough with the Banelings here. They can definitely zone back to the Lings. Also a risk of a run up at the ramp here.
Yeah.
Even if this hatchery does go down.
I love the poking by the queen. Unfortunately, Scarlet does not have 2 queens right now. That would really help a lot. 2 more spines on the way. Of course, the hatchery falls, but this doesn't mean that Dark just straight wins this game. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people at home thinking this looks bad. Look at the worker count, right? Scarlet's still in this. She's getting some static D. She's going for Banelia. She almost has Zergling speed.
We're at about 10 workers right now. Or sorry, 19 workers for Scarlet, 17 here for Dark. But yeah, it's 1 base versus 1 base. Dark does have the liberty if he wants to try to expand and go ahead and take the natural.
And look, this is great, using a larva at the natural to make an overlord so that you actually can use that larva. She's spread creep so her queens can go up and down the ramp and the spines can go up and down the ramp. Can move a spine to this low ground and retake that hatchery. Well, not down and out yet. There's no hatchery on the way here for Dark.
You know, Dark, one of these players that's never afraid to initiate.
Yeah.
And we saw it there. It seems like the Koreans are just so good at CBC with the first few units they got to control that they can pretty much shut down any Ling fight. Because you only have to make 1 mistake in a ZVZ early on to then have no upper hand.
Checks with that Zergling. There are 2 Banes up the ramp, so Scarlet can't go up there right now. I love, love, love that she's getting Carapace as well. Carapace,
love that too!
I just love.
Yes!
Dude, Carapace, you're doing a Zergling battle. 1 player has Carapace, the other does not. Carapace user wins by far. It is so powerful here. It's good against Banelings, good against Lings.
We have the Queens now driving back the few Lings of Dark. With the Banelings coming up here, Dark simply has to retreat. He cannot engage. Scarlet's starting to stabilize here.
Yeah, pushing down. She really wants to kill off that queen. The transfuse right there.
Yeah, I think that Scarlet pretty well drew out Dark a little bit there.
Yeah,
Dark wasting some of those links. He's got a good amount of links in the bag. You know, this is always a technique you can use in CBC is to have some links in the front harassing while you've actually pulled up a lot more in the back.
Scarlet very much about getting that Overlord. Does end up killing it off. Oh! It's not too bad. Kills off these Lings. And look, okay, so let's take stock right now. Dark is up a few drones at the moment. Their hatcheries are going to finish at about the same time, but that +1 carapace is worth a lot. I think Scarlet's not even looking to make drones. I think she wants to attack with this. If you have Ling Bane...
So it's going to be a timing.
Yeah, like with +1 carapace, it's just so powerful. Roachhorn on the way, but that's going to be late.
She's continuing to push with the Queens, which is usually a pretty big tell that you're interested in doing some aggression. Dark, on the other hand, goes ahead and decides to expand. Not bad with the transfuses. Another Baneling does come up here, making it basically not a possibility here for these Lings to engage. And I think Scarlet might be whittling this down.
Yeah, she's pushing forward right now. See all those Lings that are alive. Those would be dead Lings otherwise.
Melee also on the way here.
That's right. May as well continue on those upgrades at third base. Definitely something that she can take out. Starting to drone up behind as well, so this isn't an all-in. Just as our friend Noah would say, a designated pressure.
Okay, we have the Banelings coming down here now. Try to pressure these other Lings. Good exchange there for Dark.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
That was rough. You can't be losing 3 Banelings just like that. She really does need those alive.
Overextension here with that 1 Baneling means it will not be able to be utilized there. The armor upgrade is done here for Scarlet, but she's not able to really salvage this situation.
Yeah, this was really rough. Like losing those Banes, that was a great defensive move by Dark and just a slight miss micro there by Scarlet. So I feel like that really did her. And now with that third base up, Dark should be feeling pretty happy about his position. But Scarlet's third is not that far behind. She's been droning. There's roaches out though, which is going to make this a bit harder.
Okay, you can see now these Lings have been gunned down. Scarlet's still trying to put some pressure on that third hatch. Dark's not mining from it yet, but Dark seems to be interested in having some pressure of his own.
Baneling's coming up right now, trying to go towards that mineral line, but with the Queens and Spine, He'll wait a little bit. The Roach is coming as well. Wow, Roach Ravager. This is going to be pretty good. Those Banelings can keep Lings off of his army.
Yeah, and with the 1-1 upgrades here for those Lings for Scarlet, because attacks have just now finished, I don't think it's going to be helpful at all. In fact, I think Dark just wins this game. You give Dark any situation CBC, and he engineers a lead. He's just absolutely brilliant.
He is a brilliant Zerg. There's no question there, Tasis. I can't argue with that. Pushing forward now. Scarlet having to pull the drones. Not a good situation for our world player.
Okay, as you can see here, this game is basically over. Dark on another level in ZVZ here. Completely crushing Scarlet, who I believe is now merely digesting the loss, processing it, as there really is no way to come back in this game. GG.
Well, definitely a fast and furious one right there. Dark extending the lead of Team GSL. But very good sportsmanship there by Dark. All the Korean players really respect Scarlet and think of her as one of the best players in the world, no question there.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time one asks about who are the best foreigners, she comes to mind as well.
Look at that smile on Dark.
Yeah.
Oh, denied Beyond 2.
Little rivalry there. First and
bit.
second place from BlizzCon, the World Championships last year. And that leaves us.
Oh, look at Stefano.
Yeah.
Oh. He's actually he's shrinking in his chair right now.
He's getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Hey, we can always say this:
if Kellershirt had not won, Stefano would be disappearing after this next match.
Oh, for sure. Well, I gotta say, Kellershirt's like the hero of today so far. But you know what? We got another great match coming up here. It's Innovation for Cyril. Some love for Scarlet out there. Nesty, the creator of the universe.
Yeah. Looking at his design. He actually made the universe on the back of a napkin one night in a bar in an airport. I don't know if people knew that.
He made Stefano as well. Stefano's whole life is culminating to this moment, where he gets to actually battle Nesty, just a figment of Nesty's mind.
Well, yeah, as Nesty imagined, this would be the final showdown, and GSL would end up taking it. Right now they lead 6-1. Can they make it 7-1? Or will Cyril pull the upset on Innovation?
All right, Cyril, do it for us. Do it for the English stream, the non-Korean stream. We need this win. Let's get to our sick moving stage. Ready? Oh.
Who could it be?
Dun, 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 dun. Innovation Cyril.
A great match indeed. Innovation, oftentimes considered the greatest player on earth. Cyril, the top of the European ladder, has been just killing it this year and still on his way up, truthfully. It's not like this guy's been on the top very long.
All right, let's see what Cyril's got. This is, a lot of people are saying, the best player in the world right now. Innovation's also playing in our finals shortly after the GSL vs. World show matches. TY versus Innovation. Even TY saying, well, I think Innovation's probably better than me, so I'm going to treat this finals like practice.
I
think Cyril plays a straight-up game?
Yeah. I think you go ahead and play a macro game here. It's not like you need to do the percentage thing that will make you win most often.
Right.
It's more like this is playing for pride at this point. Whether he wins or not, the world team has already been defeated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Cyril puts out his normal play and sees how it fares against Innovation. Not every day you get a chance like this. This is a preview of BlizzCon right here.
This is very true, Artie. We're moments away from getting this started. Our map is going to be Newkirk Precinct. This is definitely a map. Innovation can be pretty vicious with those pushes on. If I was a Zerg, I'd be scared to face him on this map.
Well, I don't know if Cyril is scared of very much. As Jeff calls him the White Walker, our Finnish beastly Zerg.
Burn it with fire.
Innovation might do that. He does like Hellions on this map.
Yes, he might go Hellbats. The White Walkers fear fire. Yeah. Cyril versus Innovation. Our last Korea versus non-Korean match of the night before we go to the finals of the GSL versus the world. Good luck, Cyril. You're going to need it. You're against one of the scariest RTS players of all time. In the bottom left, in the blue, our Terran player in the finals of the GSL versus the world, now here against Cyril.
Innovation.
In the bottom right, in the red, he has to defeat Innovation. Can he do it?
NC Sports, Cyril.
All right. Could be our best game yet, although that Kelliger T1 is going to be pretty hard to beat. And also, to be honest, Neeb Hero, what a game that was. Definitely have been some good ones, even though the last few have been a little quick, a little one-sided.
Well, you know, all we can do is try our best. We've got Reaper build coming out here for Innovation, and you know, I'm wondering. With Cyril's kind of different, I think, from a lot of the other non-Koreans. I don't feel like he's phased by almost anything.
It seems that way.
You know what I'm talking about?
He has like a pretty big guard, like kind of seems like he's always in the same mood. We don't see a lot of emotional fluctuation. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean he's not phased, but it kind of seems that way, yeah. Anytime we talk to him and stuff.
I mean, if I'm Cyril, I'm like, okay, whatever. My team lost, but I could still win.
Yeah.
And beating Innovation on a huge stage like this, that's something. So I think he just tries his very best.
Absolutely.
And I think out of all the non-Koreans that we have here, Cyril is one of the ones who definitely could beat Innovation.
Yeah.
I'd say Cyril, Neeb. Two guys where I think, okay, you've got a shot.
Sure. And I think he does have that shot. I'm interested to see what style he goes. I'm really wanting to see Lingbane Hydra. And if he does it just right, maybe that works out. But let's not forget, Innovation, as you said, some of his pushes on this map, and in particular some tank pushes, can be really scary to deal with.
Yeah, that is very true, though. You know, this map, you're not that far from each other.
Yeah.
If you look at the mini-map here on the Zerg side, so the Zerg is taking the 3 bases, which are pretty much accessible and not easy for Terran to push. But then, after that, it's only the upper right that Terran has a hard time engaging. The other 3 bases, just adjacent to the 3 bases Cyril's already acquired, are all easy points of pressure for a Terran push. And when you're talking about an Innovation push, I mean, Innovation wins a lot of games pushing across the biggest maps in the game. We still find.
Yeah.
So this is like the ultimate challenge here for Cyril.
Macro like none other, this Innovation kid. Now Viking on the way, but on a Tech Lab starport. So a little bit tricky in that regard. Starting Cloak. Sometimes that gets canceled, though. You know, you start it right under an Overlord and just kind of like, hey, you have to get spores now.
Yeah.
Get a layer 2, please.
Overlord here to spot, see what's going on. The pressure is beginning to mount here. Let's see how Cyril handles the first few engagements.
A nice little Reaper grenade does some damage to that creep tumor as well. Going to continue to move around a bit. Banshee on the way, so it does look like Hellion Banshee will be the order of the day here for Innovation.
Stim behind that for later on pressure.
Cyril going up to a good 6-7 queens at the moment. So that's enough that you can definitely push back Banshee Hellion without much problem.
Absolutely you can. Cyril, of course, wants the drone up as much as possible, but he has to do that balancing act in a ZVT of having enough defense that he can safely make drones. Because if you overmake any of those drones and you don't have enough lings or enough queens, you end up just getting run over.
Yeah.
And if you over-defend, then the Terran kills you later because you don't have enough workers to muster the army that you needed to handle a more sophisticated Terran army.
Yeah. Now,
this is a good scout, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Seeing that third CC and everything, that's great. But you know what? There's like 8 queens out right now. The double evolution chamber's coming up before the engineering phase. So I like a lot of what Cyril's up to. Just let's see what the Banshee can get done here for Innovation. Oh my.
Here we go.
Running up, over-committing there is Innovation.
Cyril able to shut down. And, oh, nice cornering.
Oh, sick.
Okay, next tournament, Cyril versus Korea. Can any one of these Koreans beat Cyril?
Well,
he beats 1 out of 8.
You know, he had a very close series against Bjorn, and here he is just destroying the Hellions of Innovation. Now this Banshee's getting a little bit of work done. These main bases are kind of funny the way they're shaped. Spores don't really cover everything too well.
Yeah, well said. They definitely You definitely have to babysit your main when those Banshees come in there. Now, Innovation is, he's been exposed for taking a third command center, but that doesn't mean the pressure can't still come in here. Innovation with great multitasking. Where is the detector there?
Yeah, just that one spore, but not close enough to the Banshee over here. Look at that. Oh! Sick transfuse.
And I guess he's just willing to have these queens soak some damage so that there's not as much happening over there for the drones. Meanwhile, the fourth base is being taken. The Zerg continues to tech up.
Can I just say, Tasteless, I love where he took that fourth base.
Oh, yeah,
because
that's where you want to do it for sure.
Yeah, and look at this. He's actually even killing his own rocks. After knocking him down, he's going to kill him so he can rotate to that base more easily. But how many times have we seen the fourth in one of those more close positions?
Oh, and it always goes badly. You want to be a coward in this game. You want to hide bases.
Yes.
You want to get bigger. Don't be brave against Innovation.
I'm glad someone finally said it. You play in this map, be a coward.
Hide.
Put all your
Stay
stuff.
away.
Get as far from this Terran player as you can. Every extra second you have is another second towards victory.
Okay, we have the push beginning. There'll be scans blanketing this to take out the creep tumors. Question is, how far can Innovation push? And will Cyril end up bleeding off too many units each time he tries to slow this down?
He's got a lot of queens here, so I think it won't be too hard to push back. Gonna relay these creep tumors immediately. I do love this very creep-heavy approach that he's taken. Now, is he gonna make a Hydralisk Den or some other tech? Because he's on layer now.
Okay, the Marines are now moving up. Cyril does seem to have sufficient banelings, but Innovation likes to hit multiple locations at once and see if one of these attacks actually sticks.
Okay, this one not going to be able to do too much. Gets picked up. Only loses a couple Marines, so not that big of a deal.
Yeah, pretty much perfectly handled there.
The Banshee picking off a few drones here and there. Oh, and quite a drop actually coming up right now.
Meanwhile, all the lings are headed southbound over here. I didn't expect the drop with the natural, but he's coming in here now, stimming up.
A lot of lings popping out just now. Oh, no!
Nicely done. 1-1 is done here. The lings just have to try to deny these Marines from getting on the ground. Unfortunately, Cyril seems to not be splitting his lings properly.
Yeah, definitely needed to split those a little bit easier earlier on. That attack going back up towards his fourth base, but Cyril's in position. You know what? This hasn't been too bad so far. Cyril's held on. He's got good upgrades. He's got a very solid drone count at 72, and he has his Hydralisks on the way. So the next time, like, Innovation can continue to do a bit of harassment, but he's got to be careful as Hydras are popping out. And the next time he can really threaten Cyril will be with those tanks.
Okay, stimming and coming in now, taking out these little drones over here. For the time being, I will say Cyril is doing a very good job holding this, but you're seeing that scary Innovation play.
Yes, certainly.
He basically always trades favorably, and a lot of times these games snowball, but with these Banes!
Oh!
Never mind everything I just said. I don't know what happened. That is not the Innovation I'm used to casting.
Well, he just messed up a little bit. He must have been microing somewhere else. Maybe went back and did a Mac around, but Cyril got in on top of that army, even off of creep.
Hell, I say Cyril takes another base.
Dude, yeah,
do it.
Absolutely agree with you. And in fact, not only is he taking another base, he's going for an infestation pit as well, and I think that's a great call. After killing off those units basically for free, just a few Banlings and Zerglings, the only thing he needs to be scared about is a tank push, and that takes a while. You have to make more tanks what Innovation has.
Okay, being chased back now. We see the medevac headed northbound. Meanwhile, the Liberator harass is beginning to come in. Innovation knows he can't do a full-on push, but he can try to claw away at the economy here.
Mineral patches. That main are gone. That Liberator not getting really anything. This one gonna get a few kills here and there.
As you can see, Cyril's still hanging on. He's actually almost maxed out. Zerg does need to tech up a little bit more before they can start counter pushing. So a bold move by Innovation is to take this expansion just north of his third. And then you can take the back expansions later on when Zerg have more push potential.
Well, Innovation's setting up a planetary here at his fourth base. That'll be where he starts his push. He's got that sensor tower as well. I love that it's been mostly Ling Bane coming out right now for Cyril. He's very mobile with this unit set. And if Innovation gets out of position one time, he can lose everything.
Okay. We do have A push coming in here. Cyril's going to go for it. I thought he was going to wait a little bit longer. This may be unwise, Artosis, if he tries to move in here.
Yeah, does not want to get on top of that creep. That is for sure. The Hive finishing up. Dude, Innovation has to go now.
Yeah.
He can't wait any longer. Like, he's got a lot of siege tanks, but if he waits until Ultras are out, this is not going to work for him.
Yeah, you are right. Some of this going back to that drop that we saw outside that fourth base that Innovation completely and totally lost. All right, so many Banelings coming down. The siege tanks need to connect.
All right, turns around just in the nick of time there. You can't actually be engaging with this army. Right now for Cyril, it's all about getting to those Ultras. And he keeps acting like he's going to attack all the way, but he's not going to. This is part of the plan. He's keeping Innovation back. He's making Innovation think that he's going to like all in him or do a stupid attack. But no, Cyril's just buying time.
As time passes, we're still waiting to see. Hold up. Innovation's now going to push out. This is the moment you were talking about, Artosis. He's got the creep pushed back a little bit.
Oh, good hit.
Very good targeting back there. Queen's going to have to be transfusing each other, but of course he's just bleeding off energy at the same time. Is Innovation overextending? We need to see some more tanks edge in here. 28 more Lings are on the way. Upgrades are not slowing down on either side.
That's a funny scan right there. I guess he was getting a little bit of creep, maybe. I don't know. I think it was maybe a misclick. But anyways, Ultras are on the way. A few Vipers out. Innovation making mass command centers and getting 3-3. But his upgrades are not super fast. His army is strong right now, but as those Ultras come out and Chitinous Plating finishes, he will have a hard time holding on.
Okay. Cyril has to take this out, especially with the tanks. If we can wipe out the tanks, then it's going to be a lot easier for Zerg to try to counter push in. Innovation losing a few too many units.
Oh, some great blinding clouds going down. These Banelings not being the most efficient, if I have to be honest. The siege tanks doing their job here, and Cyril does lose a lot of units. Army supply very similar at the moment.
Okay, stimming and backing up. The tanks will have to be edged forward if Innovation wants to try to hold this position. Meanwhile, another push up here. I'm worried that Cyril might be spread a little bit too thin. Every time these Banelings don't connect, actually, never mind.
Hey,
another good connection, man.
He's definitely getting a few of those in. Now, Innovation is teching up a little bit further. He's going for the Fusion Core, going to get that Liberator range in on top of this, I think. And I mean, that's good. That's going to help out. He's going to need those Liberators. But with Vipers already out and Ultras entering the battlefield, he can't be out in the middle of the map anymore, and truthfully, he hasn't hurt the economy of Cyril in a very long time.
Okay, Cyril's beginning to actually lash out here. The Ultras definitely add a little bit more muscle to this Zerg army, but Innovation is a macro god. He is constantly maxed out, whether or not he has good engages.
Yeah, this is really fantastic, this kiting that is going on right now. So many Queens with Transfuses that the Ultras are not going to fall, but whittling down Lings, Banes, Hydras, this is at least some value that he's gaining right now.
Okay, Innovation going to go for a massive drop, realizing it's just a tug of war in the middle of the map. But if he can get some of these Lings and Ultras to perhaps go down. Oh, the Lings actually spot the drop, by the way.
Ooh. Yeah, if that drop gets into position, that's a hard one for him to clean up. He'll definitely lose quite a bit. And Cyril is rotating towards his main base, so definitely he realizes it.
Okay. Moving across the map now is Innovation. Did Cyril make the necessary adjustments back home to be ready for this? You know, you can have as much creep as you want on the map, but if you start to lose things back at home and can't split your army correctly, that's all Terran needs to do to win.
Big drop going to the main base, but Lings and Hydras here and ready. Definitely slowing the drop down, but not enough as it all unloads. Innovation now on 3-3 as well. Hitting this fourth base at the same time as the main. Not a lot of tech here, but definitely something he has to save.
You can see as Terran pushes out across the map, all three of these bases taking so much damage. Harpooning the Liberators as they come in. The Marine Marauders still, though, in the back. Tanks doing damage.
These Ultras so powerful, trying to get on top of these Marauders. The Siege Tanks doling out huge amounts of damage, but between the Vipers and these Queens for healing, it looks like he will hold on.
The Queens now backing up. Overall supply 172 to 180. Still neck and neck. Innovation not done harassing, not done expanding. Cyril is still hanging on, though he has not taken any fatal blows.
No, it's so few, in fact, that I'm starting to like this for him a little bit. Yes, Liberators are being started, but that's not quite enough yet. 5 Liberators at a time, that's actually quite a few Liberators, but I feel like you have to go into Ghost from here.
I agree. I think there's going to be too many Ultras out, too many Infestors out. The Liberators are not really the answer at this point in time. Let's see, though. What exactly does Cyril want to do now? Cyril eventually is going to have to take the bottom base, the only one available to him. Whereas, if Cyril continues to just hang on, Innovation still wins. Innovation's expanding at a slower rate. This is a problem, Artosis.
It definitely can turn into one, especially since he has like +2 air weapons right now, I believe. And he's making now 7 Liberators at a time. So that is a lot of Liberators. Oh God, a huge drop with Liberator support headed towards that main base.
He wants to wipe out the tech here, as well as everything that he has as far as macro hatches, everything. This is huge.
Wow, such a great move. Even the Spire is up here.
And Ultras can't really help here.
No.
So much for Broodlords.
You can't run up that ramp.
This could almost be a checkmating move, to be honest.
Cyril's maxed. He can't make Corruptors.
Yeah.
The Greater Spire that was almost done dies. What a great move here by Innovation. One that he has used a lot of times in the same situation against Dark, who we saw earlier.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. Innovation now pushing down. All the tech is still vulnerable. And Innovation can kite back up the ramp for as long as he wants. Innovation really teaching us how to play a late game TBZ. Stay with the push, wait till you force him to the right unit comp, then put him in a position they can't recover from. Look at this.
Just so efficient at that ramp. There's not much he can do. He's losing mining time. He's losing units every time he tries to engage.
Yeah.
These Vipers are kind of his anti-air at this point. But with Liberator range, it's hard to commit him that far. Finally grabs him. The insta-re-siege.
And meanwhile, he can drop down over here at this other base. Innovation continuing to produce at a terrifying rate.
Okay, but Cyril, at the end of the day, holds on against this. He has made a Spire somewhere else, can start making some Corruptors as well, so that's going to be useful. But his supply plummeted a bit. He lost a lot of drones, a hatchery, his spawning pool. That did a lot of damage.
Okay, back here for Cyril. I mean, he survives, but he's sort of in some ways digging himself out of a hole. That was a lot of losses he suffered. When you look at how much money and energy and supply it costs Cyril to try to reclaim that main location so he could still mine from his expansions and everything else like that. How is Cyril going to have the muscle to then go back and fight Innovation on the left side of the map?
Well, I think he stays defensive just for a little bit here. He needs to fix up his composition a little bit. He's adding some Corruptors. He's re-droning. Has these Infestors out with the Burrow movement, we haven't seen any yet, so they might not be fresh in Innovation's mind. It's still doable for Cyril, even though Innovation has made some fantastic moves in the last couple minutes.
Okay. We see the stim coming across the map now. Great bungles there. This is the play Cyril needs. The Queens and Hydras coming up, hitting the Medivacs. Can Cyril push further? I think he can go for this bottom left base.
Yeah, if he could pick one off, that would be really nice. I think he's afraid because his creep spread is not down there. His Queens can't quite help out. But he's going to have to make a strong move at some point. You can't just sit here on half map versus half map because Innovation continues to build up that Liberator count. But I am a little bit nervous for Innovation too, now that I say that, because he's just making Bio and Liberators. We don't see any Ghosts or anything like that.
He might be deciding he doesn't need Ghosts, which would be a little bit weird, but maybe he sees something we don't see yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Innovation is pretty ahead of the curve at any given point in time.
As that Corruptor count grows, it's a little bit scary to just be sitting around with Liberators. They don't do much damage to them.
Okay, as we continue inward here, the creep is once again cleaned up. A scan, and I don't believe he actually got that Infestor, so this is still a little bit tricky.
Oh, the Broodlord's going to definitely help out quite a bit here. Long range damage. No Vikings are out right now. +3 air attacks start, and definitely Vikings with +3 going to be able to take those down very, very quickly.
As we can see, the stimming is coming forward. There's some Broodlords, but there's not quite enough to stop the Marines from getting underneath them. But the bungles, absolutely awesome.
Really fantastic bungles, and the Broodlords continue to beat down on these Marines. Now 7 Vikings at a time. So Innovation going to counter this finally, but with bungles plus Vipers plus as many Corruptors, Queen's Hydras underneath. I still feel like the missing unit here is the Ghost.
I wonder if he could just start to checker the map with these Liberators and start to just continue to take out these bases. We've seen Innovation just stay back for a little bit. Cyril, Cyril has to get this bottom right base. Actually, you know, I wanted to say something I said earlier and take it back. I actually thought Cyril was going to get that bottom right base sooner, and therefore Innovation was going to be the one who would have more opportunities to, you know,
continue mining.
Zerg would
later
mine
on.
out first. Yeah, thank you. In this case, it's actually the opposite. Innovation's macro is so good, he's sucking up resources faster than Cyril can. So normally that's what I said is usual for this matchup. In this case, Innovation is the exception to the rule.
Well, this game definitely not usual at this point. A lot of crazy things going on. So many liberation zones come out. Corruptor's flying forward here, but a huge amount of Vikings come from the side.
Okay, the positioning of Terran is pretty strong. A big stim and a dive in. The Ultras have to back up.
Oh, missing his transfuses right there. Some Ultras actually falling very, very quickly. These Vipers helping out a ton against the air units.
Whereas we do not see the Marines really able to get under the Broodlords, and if they can't do it, eventually this Terran army is going to bleed off. Supply, however, getting lower here for Zerg.
Oh, he brings in his Ultras finally to help once again. The Marauders stand tough, the Marines back up. Can he actually eliminate these Broodlords? He's getting underneath, stimming forward right now, trying to take them out, but up comes the Infestors.
He manages to get a few of those Broodlords, but not enough to take the hatchery out. Cyril is still alive and in this game.
Yeah, he's doing a great job on this defense. This was a very expensive Innovation army that he finally ends up taking out. But if you look at that worker count, Tasteless, Cyril having a bit of a hard time keeping his economy together.
Okay, the Liberators are now going to come down here. He needs to try to delay mining at that base. Cyril is a survivor. I'll give him that much, Artosis. If Cyril gets his bottom base up, keeps mining, Innovation overextends, Cyril wins in the long, hard econ game.
Right now, Innovation, after a lot of attacks that didn't quite break the back of Cyril, is backing up into full late game tech. He's even getting armor right now. He's getting ghosts. He's getting personal cloaking. And this is going to make it harder for Cyril to engage in the future.
We're still waiting to see if Cyril has the tenacity to wear Innovation down so that Innovation is unable to beat TY in the finals that we have after this.
Actually, now that you say that, the two longest games have both been TY and Innovation.
Oh, that's true. That's true, because TY had that rough game.
But he has all this resting time. That was an earlier game. That was like game 4. And here we are, game 8. Even though the time between the two were not so long.
No, we had some super short ones.
Yeah.
Some flash in the pan games for sure. Well, he's mining from it. We got more Broodlords coming up. Hard for Terran to keep tech switching when Zerg is trying to stay ahead of you.
Now, these ghosts coming out really do scare me a little bit. It's going to be hard to interrupt them at all. So with snipes landing on Corruptors and Broodlords, that is going to be just the epitome of efficiency.
Okay, Cyril's going to ditch this for now, taking whatever resources he mined from there and keeping that for later. This base does go down. The Cyril have an answer. Innovation has maxed out again.
Yeah, this push is really strong going down from this high ground. These are the two bases with the most minerals at them. And Innovation, losing one, won't be able to mine from the other just in a moment. Even a nuke on the way.
You know, I guess he can hold the high ground, just keep nuking this location down here. I mean, that is a pretty even trade, to be honest.
Oh,
hold up.
Extremely good fungal right there.
Oh, whiffed to the second fungal, unfortunately.
You know, just interrupting, even if you don't kill those ghosts, to make it that the snipes don't do their damage, really, really helps out Cyril. But he's not going to have as much mana this next time.
Okay, Liberation Zone set up again. Infestor's way in the back. He's trying to look for an opening. The Banelings spill in.
Oh, so many Banelings rolling up this hill right now, looking for ghosts, looking for Marines. And oh my God, all the ghosts cloak, but he can still get them here.
Wow, unbelievable. Taking out a lot of those ghosts, but overall you see momentum's on Innovation's side. Cyril's army is shrinking. So are his chances of coming back to this game. Losing this base may be the breaking point.
Some great moves coming out of Cyril, but he is close to being broken. So many ghosts for Innovation remain alive despite fantastic Banelings and Fungals.
As you can see, it's just a few air units and infestors here for Cyril. Innovation knows when to step in, but also knows when to back up.
The last Liberator is going to be taken out, so maybe Cyril can get this base going once again. Fungal being used on a singular ghost right there. I mean, Cyril is still in the game. He's still got good units, but with 9 Vikings coming out at a time, continued Ghost production as well. This is looking grim for our Finnish Zerg.
Yeah, this is a slow and steady death, I think. But I got to say, Cyril is actually doing a crazy job holding off the greatest Terran pusher of all time in StarCraft 2. You know, it's pretty impressive. But, you know, with Innovation having all of the bases available to him on the map, and Cyril just not able to grow quite as much, it's just hard, you know? There's more at Innovation's disposal.
Oh man, those ghosts, just every fungal missing them. The Vikings might end up going down here. Banelings after the ghosts! Oh my god, a lot of them have to become decloaked. But Cyril doesn't seem to have enough in the sky.
I think this is the point where Cyril will be tipped over. GG. Innovation takes that game, and Korea defeats the world 7-1.
7-1 indeed, in control. Did end up calling this one. Give him his props there. But we had some great games today as far as this team match goes. Kelliger, TY, fantastic long one. Innovation here against Cyril, fantastic long one. Hero Neeb, another that was really, really good. So we had some good competitive games, but at the end of the day, Team Korea, Team GSL retains its dominance.
Turns out Koreans are very good at StarCraft. I agree, the games have been good. That was really fun. I don't regret this at all, but 7-1's a beatdown. You got to go home with that a little bit and go, all right.
Truly savage, man.
For BlizzCon, we got some work to do if we want to get up there.
Yeah.
I mean, Laser made a good run last year, but we had some close calls. But if you're going to get up there and compete with these guys, you got to really seal the deal.
You got to bring it.
Well, we had some great matches throughout the whole bracket tournament as well. In fact, a lot of them closer than here, but you know, this big stage, you know, it brings out the best of these champions of GSL.
I think we got to go back to just being very nice again and telling the Koreans that we hope to show good games, and maybe we'll win a few more games then in the future.
We're just so good at trash talk that it hurts us.
We did win on that regard, yeah.
For sure we won.
Flawless victory. We even turned them against each other.
GSL 팀이 우승을 차지했고 김재덕 감독은 뒤에서 그
He's
승리의
like
기쁨을
God.
받겠습니다.
That did quite some time.
예전의
Yeah.
선수로서 이제는
I might have to replace TY in the
뒤에서
future.
선수들이 선전하는
Best
모습을
team.
지켜보는데
Clearly instrumental in his team's victory today.
Every time they got a shot.
Feel to be back on the stage, looking at the players play for you here at GSL.
일단 세계 최고의 선수들과 이렇게 한 자리에 모여서 경기하는 걸 보게 돼서 너무 기쁘고, 그리고 한국 선수들이 너무 잘해줘서 역시 예전이나 지금이나
He's a big Detroit Tigers fan.
한국이 스타는 세계 최고구나라는 생각을 했습니다.
I'm happy to be here with the best players, and you know, before and now, I am just feeling that the Korean players are the best StarCraft 2 players in the world.
예전 그 네스티로 돌아가면서 다시 한번 게임하고 싶다는 그런
hard to argue.
Well, I mean, I've always said he's the
going
smartest
back
Zerg.
He is smart.
and playing for Nesty, playing as a player.
이렇게 큰 무대에 서면은 항상 경기를 하고 싶은 건 사실이고요. 근데 지금 이제 나이가 좀 먹어서 이제 다시 게임하기는 힘들 것 같고, 이렇게 뒤에서 지켜보는 것만으로도 만족합니다.
Coming back on this big stage like this, I do feel like playing, but I am getting old, so I will satisfy staying as a coach.
And everybody dies
다시
sometime,
한번 감사드리고요. 자, 그리고 이어서 스테파노 감독과 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 정말 선수들이 최선을 다하는 모습을 감독으로 지켜보셨는데 오늘 어떠셨는지 소감 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
You watch your players try your best. How do you feel?
I feel a little sad. We all do, I think, but they try their best, and we have plenty of excuses. A few were jet lagged, a few were tired. It was a bit windy and sunny, as surprising as it sounds. A bit windy and sunny here.
Sorry, I didn't get the last part. Sorry.
It's a joke. Don't worry. We can't feel bad about losing against them. They played really, really well. We tried our best, and sadly, it didn't work out.
Who the hell is that? And what did he do
모두
to
최선을
Stefano?
다했기 때문에
This guy is
잘하는
great,
선수들이
man.
뭐
Literal
그렇게
interview
모두 뭐
bonds are
기분이 나쁠
tasteless.
수는
He is.
없겠죠?
다시 하면 이길
was
수 있는
sunny
말입니다.
and windy.
I mean, it's very hard to be incredibly cocky after you just lose 7-1, Jeff.
That was a good answer.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was funny. It was like fair. It
Well,
was
if we
humble.
try again
but
next
that's how we
year,
know
do you
him, no?
think you have a chance
Is
of
that how
beating
we
them
know him,
next
Kevin?
year?
Absolutely. I think we are very, very angry about what happened today, and we can only learn from our mistakes. And I don't know. Next
see you
year
at
can be the correct
BlizzCon.
one, I think.
Humble and
당연히
victory
내년에
and
이길 수
defeat.
있고 오늘 있었던 일에 굉장히 화나고 이 오늘
The French have a
실수로
lot of
배울 수 있다고
experience talking
생각합니다.
after defeat.
네,
though.
다시 한번 최선을 다해준 선수들에게 여러분 뜨거운 박수를 부탁드리겠습니다. 자, 이제 선수들 양쪽 감독의 이야기 들어봤고요. 오늘의 팀 매치의 시상식을 진행하도록
happy
하겠습니다.
Kelager is right
먼저
Yeah. He's like, I don't feel like a loser at all,
I wish
guys.
you guys did your part, says Kelager.
선수들 자리해 주시길 부탁드리겠습니다.
All right, we're going to be going to the award ceremony coming up here.
네. 자, 이제
We're
저희가
Still have the grand finals
우승팀
after, so
시상을 하게
guys, don't
되거든요.
go anywhere.
yeah. This is just our show match.
시상은요.
The real
정말
show is about
e스포츠
to
발전을
begin.
위해서 엄청난 에너지를 쏟아주시는
This guy right
정말
here, man.
고마운 분이 계시지요. 이 GSL을 항상 핫식스 GSL로 만들어주시는 고마우신 분을 호명하도록 하겠습니다. GSL의 영원한 동반자이자 스타크래프트2의 든든한 스폰서 롯데 칠성음료 주식회사의 김찬수 마케팅 부문장을 여러분의 뜨거운 박수로 모시겠습니다.
So we're bringing out Hot 6 sponsors to give away the awards here. Again, no big shocker. The Koreans dominated the non-Koreans.
에너지요.
Non-Koreans tried their best.
e스포츠
She's the hot, he's
발전에
the
정말
six, right?
많은 도움을 주셨지요. 지금도 이 스타크래프트
Well done,
발전을
Jeff.
위해서
Well done.
힘을
Six
써주고
actually
계신
really good.
분이십니다. 다시 한번 감사드리고요.
Yeah. I think I'm addicted.
이제
It's a great drink, man. And you know what? They sponsor so much esports in Korea.
They really do. They support esports really well.
You saw the cans with the StarCraft remastered
Yeah.
advertisement on it.
Isn't that
Super
All
cool.
right,
Yeah.
exciting stuff.
오늘의 우승팀 GSL 팀.
Isn't it crazy that
자, 앞으로 나가셔가지고요.
commentator Park's day
자, 같이
job is to
나가셔가지고요.
cosplay as Coach
자, 이렇게
Yet here he is giving it his all.
상금 상패를
We
받아주시길
are
부탁드리겠습니다.
getting ready to give away the first place
네,
prize.
오늘 쉽지 않은 경기.
Congratulations, you did it, Nesty. You led them to victory.
정말 멋진 경기를 만들어준 끝에
Is that a trophy?
우승을 차지할 수 있었습니다.
Those are the
우승을
flowers.
차지할
Do
수
we give them a trophy for this one?
400만 원의 팀
Just
상금만
flowers, I
얻어서
think is good.
There is a
Who
trophy
gets a
now.
trophy?
Each person gets a flower.
승리 상금이
You guys know it's for $4 million?
되겠습니다. 자, 같이 한번
A lot of money.
활짝 웃어 주시고 기념 촬영을 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
Look at that.
최고의
They don't
경기.
care about the money, though. They care about the pride.
세계가
GSL won today.
GSL
That's
선수들에게
right.
다시 한번 뜨거운 박수 보내주십시오.
I cannot wait to get to these finals. It's going to be so good. I just wonder. I wonder if TY can hang on after that tough defeat against Kelager, man. That was kind of a weird
I actually
scene.
think that last game for Innovation may have been a tiny bit draining as well. That was a really
Yeah, that
intense,
was
long
totally
game.
exhausting game.
양쪽으로 쓰셔가지고
he looks
자, 영원히 기억에 남을 기념 촬영을 해주시길 부탁드리겠습니다.
Well, don't worry.
이제
You know,
큰 매치가
it's
끝나고
going to
난
be at least
이후에는요.
5-10 minutes before we
개인 부분
start that first game. They got plenty of time to
펼쳐지겠습니다.
recover.
They can recharge
이신영
batteries.
선수와 전태양 선수의 매치가
This is a gorgeous
오늘 두
stage
번째
that we got
펼쳐지게
down here,
되죠.
by the way.
Yeah,
Really
this
pretty.
is
I love this
sick.
thing where we
선수들
rotate out
정말
the
고맙습니다.
computers
그리고
and got
e스포츠
the
발전을
player's
위해서
country and name on there.
항상 노력해
It's
주시고
definitely a cool
힘을
new thing we're
써주시는
trying here at
롯데
AfreecaTV.
칠성음료 주식회사의 김찬수 마케팅 부문장님께
I liked all of it except the score.
부탁드립니다.
The score could have been a tiny bit closer.
That graphic could use some work.
Yeah. All right, congratulations to the winners. Team
네,
GSL,
월드
Team Korea.
팀 매치가 이렇게 마무리가 됐습니다.
Not shockingly manages to
이제
come out on top.
세계 최강의
And I think
매치를
we're going to be closing out in a little bit
기다리고
here.
있는데요.
So,
이노베이션과
guys,
TY의
don't go away.
제일
This was
정석들의
just the show
선수들입니다.
match to get us ready for the actual finals, which will be TY versus Innovation. Do not go away. It's going to be fantastic. In fact, tell your friends to join us here on the stream, as we're going to have one of the best TVTs you could ask for. We'll be right back.